Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Sakura and Ino fall in love with Naruto part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Naruto and Sasuke were standing at the Valley of the End. Naruto was in his one-tail Kyuubi form, while Sasuke was in his level 2 Curse Seal form. Their battle has been brutal and they needed to finish this once and for all. Naruto formed a purple Rasengan, while Sasuke formed a silver-colored Chidori. They charged at each other holding their strongest attacks in the palm of their hands. Soon their attacks collided. Rasengan! Chidori! Boom! The collision of the powerful attacks created a black sphere, surrounding the waterfalls along with the two statues of the founders of Konoha. Their attacks were still clashing. Both were equal in power, and it looked like it was going to be a draw. That was until Naruto secretly created a shadow clone without Sasuke noticing, and the clone charged at the Uchiha from the air and kicked him on his head. He hit the ground hard, left unconscious from the surprise attack. Naruto started returning back to normal, and as the Kyuubi's chakra left his body, he silently watched as Sasuke returned to his normal self, watching the curse seal leave his body and return to his neck. He went to him while putting his arm around his shoulder, ready to carry him from the valley. "See team, I told you I was going to bring you back, and that's what I'm going to do." Before he started walking, he saw two figures arriving at the valley. He smiled, recognizing the two. One was the dog Pakken and the other was his sensei, the masked Jonin Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi felt relief as soon as he saw his two students, and he saw that Sasuke was down, but he knew that Naruto would never try to kill him. "Naruto, I'm glad to see that you're all right, and Sasuke?" "Don't worry, Kakashi-sensei, he's fine, he's just knocked out." "I'm sorry, but I didn't have a choice but to fight him. I tried talking to him, but he wouldn't listen. He really wanted to kill me. I couldn't believe it." He tried not to cry, but a few tears escaped from his eyes, falling from his face. "That's enough, Naruto, it wasn't your fault. You said it yourself, you didn't have a choice but to use force. Sasuke wasn't going to listen to reason no matter what you said to him, at least not with that curse seal affecting him." "Kakashi-sensei, is there a way to remove the curse seal from Sasuke?" The masked Jonin stood quiet for a moment before speaking again. "I don't think that's possible. The only thing we can do is try to seal its power. Not even the seal I placed on it back at the Chunin exams worked. Although I'm not a seal master, we will have to talk to Hokage-sama to find a way to suppress the curse seal's power." He finally noticed that the blonde had a wound on his chest, and his eyes widened in shock. "And Naruto, that wound on your chest?" Naruto knew what he was talking about, the huge hole he had in the middle of his chest, caused by Sasuke using the Chidori. He tried to make it like it wasn't a big deal. "Oh, it's nothing really. That wound looks life-threatening and deep. What happened, and how did you get that?" Pakken asked with wide eyes. Naruto didn't say a word, but Kakashi already knew what caused the wound. "It was Sasuke, wasn't it, Naruto?" "It's all right, Kakashi-sensei, I'm fine. Let's just go back to the village and treat Sasuke's wounds," the blonde replied, trying to change the topic. "And what about that wound, Naruto? You can't fool me. Sasuke did this to you using Chidori, didn't he?" He was sounding more concerned than serious. "It's just nothing really, I'm fine. The fox will heal it eventually, but unlike me, Sasuke's wounds won't heal unless we take him back to the village. Come on, let's go." The masked Jonin stood quiet. He felt betrayed, disappointed by the actions of the Uchiha. He taught Sasuke the Chidori for the express purpose of using it to protect those precious to him, and instead he used it against his own teammate, his best friend. After everything that has happened, Naruto was still worried for the Uchiha's safety. He thought that it was a mistake to teach him the Chidori, and now he regrets that he had. He took a quick glance at the hole in Naruto's chest. It was a serious, life-threatening one that anyone could have died from, but not Naruto, and he already knew why, because he had help after all. "That wound, Naruto, if it wasn't for the Kyuubi, he would have been dead a while ago. Naruto, I will carry Sasuke's body for you." "Alright. Kakashi, we should get going," Pakken said. Kakashi carried Sasuke's unconscious body on his back. "Yes, let's go." They left the valley, heading back to the forest that will lead back to Konoha. Once they were out of sight, from the ground emerged a man whose face was divided in two. He had a white half and a black half. He had a Venus flytrap around his head, and he was wearing a black cloak with red clouds. "It seems that the Uchiha lost," the white half said. "Yes, it would have been interesting if he had won over the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, and what a twist it would have been if he had left to Orochimaru," the black half said. "Let's report back to Leader Sama." He went back to the ground and vanished from sight. They were jumping from the tree branches, focusing on the road ahead. Kakashi took a glance at Naruto. "It's a miracle that he's still standing with that wound. Even for someone like the Kyuubi, it will take time for that wound to heal completely." Suddenly they were surrounded by Konoha's medical team. "What's the status of the genin?" Well, Naruto Shikamaru only has a broken finger. Rock Lee's injuries are not serious. Inuzuka Kiba has a deep wound but not life-threatening, however. Hyuga Niji and Akimichi Chuji are in critical condition and they are both at the brink of death. Hearing this, Naruto gasped. He felt tears in his eyes thinking about his friends. He growled. How he could have let this happen? It wasn't supposed to be like this. Kakashi immediately saw the blonde's look. Don't start blaming yourself, Naruto, they will be fine. He remained quiet thinking about his two friends. Damn it, why I couldn't do nothing. What about you, Naruto, are you injured? One of the medics said. Kakashi began. No, I'm fine, Naruto cut him off while the masked Jonin sighed. The medics knew he was injured. They decided to leave it like this for now until they treated the other genins. Time skip. Konoha Hospital. Naruto was sitting in one of the benches in the halls of the hospital. He was next to the room where Sasuke was staying, and he was feeling happy. The medics managed to heal all of his wounds, and he was going to make a full recovery. That was one problem solved. He was still feeling terrible for his friends. He went to check up on Shikamaru and he told him that Chuji was going to be alright. The operation was successful. Right now they were operating on Niji, and he promised to tell him if the operation was successful. He sighed, trying to remain calm. He didn't want anybody to die, but at least the rest of the team were alright. He smiled. Shikamaru had also told him that Gaara and his siblings went to help them on the mission. He knew he could count on his new friend. He was truly glad to have an ally like Suna. Perhaps things were going to calm down and get better. He started thinking about Sakura. Now that he brought back Sasuke, she was going to be happy. He will do anything just to see that beautiful smile of hers. I did it, Sakura-chan. I fulfilled my promise of the lifetime for you. He heard footsteps and saw Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Shikamaru, Shino and Hinata heading his way. He smiled seeing his friends. They were obviously visiting the others. Hey guys, he said in weak tone. Naruto-kun, are why you alright? Asked the shy Hinata. Yeah, I'm okay, but you should be worried about the others. We already checked on Kiba and the others. He's resting. The same with Akamaru, Shino said. Everyone is all right. Shizen and the rest of the medical team are still operating, Niji Shikamaru said, so cheer up, Naruto. Looks who's talking, the person who was crying like a girl when he found out that his teammate was going to be all right, Temari said with a smirk. The Nara blushed slightly while the rest of the group was chuckling. Troublesome woman. What did you say? She glared at him. Nothing. Man, you guys wouldn't stand a chance against those sound ninjas if it wasn't for us to show up and save your asses, Kankuro said. Temari smacked him on his head. Kankuro, don't be rude. Sorry, he said while rubbing his head. Anyway, thanks for helping us, Gaara, Naruto said with a smile. We have a debt to pay to the Leaf Village, that is all. I also have a debt to pay to you, Uzumaki Naruto. You saved me from myself. I will forever be thankful to you, Gaara said. He gave his fox grin. Hey, that's what friends are for. I'm glad I was able to help you. They heard footsteps and they saw Ino and Sakura, who had a couple of flowers. They were obviously for Sasuke. Naruto's heart skipped a beat as soon as he saw his pink-haired crush. He smiled at her. He wanted to tell her that he fulfilled his promise to her, but he didn't have the chance. Sakura completely ignored him and went to the room where Sasuke was resting, and Ino followed her. Naruto felt his heart break slowly. Why was he so surprised? Now that her precious Sasuke-kun was back, she was once again ignoring him like he didn't exist after everything he did for her. He let it slide. Even if he will never have her, he will have her as his friend as long as she was happy. He was happy. Suddenly the door to the room opened and the two kunoichis came. Sakura went in front of him. She had a blank expression on her face, and Naruto decided to finally tell her to make her happy. See, Sakura-chan, I told you I will bring him back. I fulfill my PR. He never got to finish that sentence. Slap. The whole group gasped. While the sound of the slap was heard throughout the entire hospital, Naruto touched his face where he received the slap, his cheek red because of the attack. He gazed at Sakura in shock. He didn't know what to say. Sakura was glaring at him. Tears were finally falling from her eyes. However, Ino was also shocked at her best friend's sudden action. Sakura-chan, why? He said, shocked. Maybe he was having a bad dream. She growled, why look what you did to Sasuke-kun. Did you saw those wounds he had? You did this to him. I told you to bring him back to me, not to bring him back beat up and almost at the brink of death. But Sakura-chan, I didn't have a choice. Slap. She slapped his other cheek. By now the group that was watching were upset, including Ino, except for Hinata, who was shocked. Shut up, I don't want to listen to you. I asked you to do one simple thing and you screwed it up. Can't you do anything right? You really are a dead last. No matter what you do, Sasuke-kun will always be better than you. He's superior and you're inferior. He will always be above you. Naruto tried to hold his tears. He just received the worst wound he could ever received, rejection from the girl that he loves so much. The group was so angry at Sakura's actions towards his teammate. Gaara was thinking of using dessert coffin on her for the lack of respect to his new friend, the same with Temari and Kankuro. Shino was quiet, but even with his mouth and cover and glasses he was upset. Shikamaru shook his head because this whole thing was going to turn into a troublesome situation. Hinata was also upset. How she could do this to him after everything he did to bring her precious Sasuke-kun to her. There was no excuse for the things she was doing to him. Sakura continued to glare at the blonde while he was looking to the ground, not wanting to make eye contact with the pink-haired genin. Next time I won't ask any favors from you, Naruto, because you will always screw up, some friend you turn out to be. Shut up. The whole group was shocked at the sudden outburst that came from the one and only Naruto. He sounded very angry. It seemed he has finally snapped. His infinite patience had finally reached its limit. Sakura was also shocked. She realized that what she said was out of line, and she shouldn't have said such things to the person who gave his life to rescue her precious Sasuke-kun and bring him back to the village. She took a few steps towards feeling sorry for what she said. Naruto, So that's it, huh? He said softly. This is the thanks I get for bringing Sasuke back to you, Sakura. Sakura was really shocked. Naruto didn't call her Sakura-chan. She usually didn't like being called that. It really annoyed when he calls her that. But now she was just shocked. He must be very angry with her. She saw that for the first time ever. Naruto was glaring at her with pure anger and hatred. She didn't blame him. She had it coming for saying those harsh things about him. He growled, glaring at her. I told you that I didn't have a choice. I tried talking to him, but no, he wanted to fight me. At least I made the great effort of bringing him back for you. Tell me, Sakura, what did you do to convince him to stay? Oh, that's right, you cried to him and begged for him to stay, and we all know how successful you were. Yeah, it was so successful that he rejected you and left you crying on a bench. Pretty pathetic. Everyone was shocked at his sudden comment. Was this really Naruto? Sakura was looking at him, pure shock. He was actually being mean to her. This has never happened before. Even after all the times she has hit him, he didn't do a thing to fight back, or even say an insult on her. But she could see it in his cerulean eyes that he was angry. Now she wasn't angry with him, but scared. This is a whole new side of the blonde ninjas she has never seen before. Sakura, do you want to know that your precious Sasuke-kun tried to kill me? That's right, although I don't know why am I even bothering about telling you, because you could give a shit about me. Let's face the facts here. Sasuke could be right here and I could be lying next to you dying, and you would just leave me to die. Naruto, that's not true, Sakura said. Shut up. He shouted in rage. I am so sick of your screw Konoha as long as I have Sasuke attitude. You are weak, useless, and nothing but a burden to the team. The real dead last is you. Everyone on the team knows it, even Kakashi-sensei knows it. You are a disgrace to all the kunoichi in this village. Everyone in this room knows very well the real reason you became a ninja is so you could be with your Sasuke-kun, not so you could serve your village like a proud ninja of Konoha. This is the true Sakura. You are completely blind to everything that surrounds you. The only thing you see is Sasuke. If he jumps from a cliff you would. If he kills you, kill too. Sakura was still shocked, but this time tears were forming at the corner of her eyes. While Naruto continued his verbal assault on her. Sakura, you will never become a strong ninja because the only thing you care about in this village is him. It's pretty clear when you see it. You are the most selfish person I have ever seen. You don't care about anyone. You don't give a damn about your teammates and friends. Look at me, for example. We all know the way you treat me as your personal punching bag, your little toy. Oh, Sasuke-kun rejected me again. I know I will beat the living crap out of Naruto because it makes me feel better. Or maybe I will keep on rejecting him whenever he asks me out on a date because it makes me happy to see him struggling to win me over when my heart belongs to Sasuke-kun. He growled at her, seeing that she was now crying. Keep trying, Sakura, he will never love you. Get the message? You also think that Sasuke doesn't do anything wrong in your eyes? Well, he tried to kill me, you know. Sakura had tears falling from her eyes. But what about his injuries? I mean, look at you. You don't have any wounds on you. Really, then what do you call this? He unzipped his jumpsuit and lifted his black shirt, showing them the hole on his chest. Everyone gasped in pure horror at the large hole in the middle of his chest. It was just mere inches away from reaching his heart. Everyone was shocked, even Gaara. There was so much blood. Hinata fainted at the gruesome sight. The only thing they could ask themselves is how in the world was he still alive? Naruto made sure that Sakura saw his deep wound. She was staring at him in horror. You see this, Sakura? This is what your precious Sasuke-kun did to me. My so-called brother, best friend. Yeah, right. What a load of horse shit. Sasuke-kun would never do that, Naruto. It's the curse seal. It's making him do this as usual. She was defending her precious Uchiha. Naruto snorted. You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You are so blinded by him that you don't know the wrong things he's doing. Maybe you're right. Maybe the curse seal is making him do evil things, but he chose to embrace its power instead of finding a way to get rid of it or suppress its power. Am I wrong, Sakura? The pink-haired genin didn't say a word, knowing that he was right, and he continued to unleash his frustration and anger on her face. The truth, Sakura, the only thing Sasuke cares about is power, so he can kill his brother, and that's why he chose to leave the village on his own free will. He stopped, seeing that she was sobbing, but he was too upset. He has finally had it with her insults and disrespect. I really liked you, Sakura. I would have done anything for you. I would have sold my soul just to see you smile. I didn't care if you never liked me back. The only thing that mattered to me more than my dream of becoming Hokage was your happiness. The only way you will be happy is with Sasuke. Fine, I understand that, but I can't do this anymore. I am sick of you. I finally realize that you're not worthy of my attention, Sakura. You pretend to be this kind, sweet girl when you're really very selfish and will do whatever it takes to make yourself happy, even beating your teammate and rejecting him over and over again. Well, I had about enough of this. No more. As of today, I will break my bonds with Team 7. Sakura finally got angry with her blonde teammate. I knew it. Naruto, you're just jealous of Sasuke-kun because I like him, and not you. The group was angry hearing the comment from the selfish Kunoichi, while Naruto glared at her with a grin. No, Sakura, I'm not. It's the other way around. I'm glad that you don't like me because you are nothing to me. Actually, you and Sasuke make a cute couple. The power-hungry traitor who wants revenge and the selfish, ungrateful bitch. Yeah, you guys are perfect for each other. Sakura didn't say a word. Instead, she only sobbed at the cold, painful words that Naruto has told her. The blonde ninja walked past her, ready to leave. He was sick of being near her and wanted to get away from this place, away from her. Harino, Sakura, I hate you. Silence fell on the room. No one said a word. They have just witnessed the impossible. Uzumaki Naruto, the ninja who had the biggest crush on Harino Sakura, had just rejected her badly. No one thought it will ever happen, but it did. Usually the group would feel sorry for Sakura, but after what she said to him, and the way she has always treated him, they were actually glad that Naruto snapped on her like that. Sakura was still shocked at everything that her blonde teammate just told her. The tears were still falling endlessly. Was that really her friend who just insulted her in the worst way possible? For some reason she didn't quite understood. Her heart was aching with so much pain. His rejection hurt more than any rejection Sasuke has ever given her. She felt so hurt. She never thought of all people it would be Naruto who crushed her like this. Suddenly laughter interrupted her thinking. Everyone turned to look at Kankuro, who was laughing while gazing at the pink-haired genin. That was truly the most amusing sight I have ever seen. You really had it coming for treating him like crap. This time Temari didn't smack her brother on the head for being rude because he was telling the truth. She really had it coming. She didn't say a word to her, but instead she gave her a quick glare which the pink-haired Kunoichi noticed but gave little attention to it. The two sand ninjas left while Gaara took one last glare at the Kunoichi. It was truly tempting to use Desert Coffin on her, but he shrugged it off. His brother's comment was enough of an insult to her. He followed his siblings, leaving the hall. Shino didn't say a word. He only took the unconscious Hinata, who fainted because she saw the wound Naruto had on his chest. He left carrying her on his shoulder, leaving Shikamaru and Ino with Sakura. Shikamaru sighed. Sakura, you really are a troublesome person. You didn't have to act like that with Naruto. But like I said to him and everyone when we were going to rescue Sasuke, I have never got along with Sasuke, but he's still a ninja of Konoha. We all put our lives on the line to save him, even Chuji and Niji, who almost died, and Naruto was the one that brought him back to the village. He took that wound on his chest, and he didn't let it get to him. In the end he came through and rescued Sasuke. It wouldn't have hurt if he said thank you to Naruto for bringing him back. He finished with a sigh, and the lazy Chunin left the hall. Sakura dried her tears while looking at the last person in the hall, her best friend since they were kids and rival for Sasuke's affections, Yamanaka Ino. Sure, everyone started hating her for what she said to Naruto, but Ino would understand her. After all, like her, she also likes Sasuke. She would agree with her that the blonde had it coming for bringing him back to the village all injured and beat up. She looked up at the bleached blonde who got close to her with a calm expression on her face. She was expecting that Ino was going to congratulate her for putting Naruto in his place for harming her precious Sasuke-kun. Slap! Sakura rubbed her aching left cheek, which was red from the slap her friend just gave her. Tears were falling once again. She wasn't dreaming this. The pain from the slap was so real, and it really hurt. She gazed at her friend with shock written clearly on her face. Ino, why? The Yamanaka glared at her. I'll tell you why. For treating Naruto like he was nothing. Shikamaru was right. Why the hell you couldn't just tell him thank you instead of hurting him with your cold words? You saw how badly Sasuke-kun got hurt. It was his fault, she retorted. Damn it, Sakura, didn't you hear Naruto? He didn't have a choice. Sasuke wasn't going to listen to reason. He wanted to fight Naruto. No, he wanted to kill him. Didn't you see the hole on his chest? Sakura couldn't argue with her there. She was right. After seeing that wound, the Uchiha really wanted to kill the blonde who was supposed to be his best friend and brother. She gazed back at her. What's wrong with you, Ino? Why are you arguing with me? You like Sasuke-kun too? No, I used to like him until I saw the huge hole he put in Naruto's chest. He rescued Sasuke for you to make you happy, and instead you repay him by spitting in his face. The Sasuke I know would never do such a thing to Naruto. Sakura growled, "Why are you defending him? You don't like Naruto. Me used to bully him when we were little, remember?" The bleached blonde stood quiet, while tears started streaming down her cheeks. "You're right, I bullied him a lot. I have always thought that he was an annoying idiot, and a dead last. He is annoying, but I was so wrong about him being a dead last. A dead last idiot could never have saved your life from a sand monster. Or have you forgotten about the Chunin exams?" Sakura stood quiet, remembering the Chunin exams when Gaara released his demon and held her hostage with his sand trapped on a tree. While Ino was chuckling in amusement, "Let me guess, Sakura, even if they told you that it was Naruto the one who saved you from the sand monster, you still think it was Sasuke who saved you, right? You're still denying that someone like Naruto is capable of saving your life. Oh, and don't forget that he saved your life twice." What are you?" Sakura said, not knowing what she was talking about. "Don't tell me you forgot about the mission to Tea Country. Shikamaru told me because Naruto told him. Apparently your team fell in the ocean after an attack from some rain ninjas and you were about to drown. It was Naruto who saved you and brought you back to shore eventually, though you thought that Sasuke was the one who saved you." Sakura started remembering the mission to Tea Country when their ship along with Ide was burned by the rain genins. They fell to the ocean and she was about to drown. The last thing she remembers were Naruto's huge lips, who was going to give her CPR. Of course she punched him silly for trying to do such a thing, although she never would have argued if Sasuke was the one who was going to give her CPR. "Naruto's right, Sakura, you are blind and the only thing you see is Sasuke. Sooner or later you will have to face the truth. Someone like Sasuke will never love you. The only person who truly loved you is the one person you just rejected and who walked away from you just now." She shook her head in disappointment. "Tell me, Sakura, why would you treat Naruto the way you do after everything he has done for you, after cheering for you at the Chunin exams, after saving your life twice, and after bringing Sasuke back for you, not caring about the huge hole he has in his chest? Tell me why." Sakura couldn't answer. She was still crying while Ino stared at her in pure disappointment, feeling ashamed for having her as her best friend. "The least you could have done for him is say thank you, or maybe asking him on a date, just one date. Trust me, one date with you is enough to make Naruto the happiest ninja in the village. Naruto was right about you all along. You're not worthy of his attention, you're not worthy of his love, and you're not worthy to have a friend like him." With those words said, the Yamanaka finally left the hall, leaving Sakura with her thoughts. She sat down on one of the benches while she continued crying. She started remembering the harsh words that Naruto said to her, and everything that Ino just told her. She hugged her knees and continued to cry. The only thing she could do right now is to wait until her Sasuke-kun wakes up, but right now she was feeling very miserable with herself. Hokage's office. Naruto entered the office to see Tsunade sitting on her desk. She wasn't alone. The toad Sannin Jiraiya was next to her. This was perfect for Naruto. He was the person he wanted to see besides the blonde Hokage. Tsunade and Jiraiya saw the expression in Naruto's face. It was dead serious. Something must have happened to him to be like this. "Naruto, congratulations in bringing the traitor back," Tsunade said while growling, mentioning the word traitor because she didn't like the Uchiha at all since he reminded her of Orochimaru. "Granny, I have a request," Naruto said in a serious tone. "A request?" she asked, curious, while she looked at Jiraiya, who looked the same too. "Yes, I want to grow strong, stronger than I am now." Tsunade smiled while Jiraiya went to him. "That's exactly why I came here for Naruto. I have decided to take you on a training trip. It's time that you become strong and prepare yourself against Akatsuki." Naruto smirked. "So you were planning on taking me all along, pervy sage?" "Naruto, I really wish you would stop calling me that. Now go and pack your things for your trip. I need to stop by the hospital to figure out a way to seal the curse seal that Sasuke has. Sarutobi-sensei did the same with Enko's curse seal, so the same thing will be done with Sasuke's." "All right, then I will wait for you at the gates of the village." "Wait, Naruto, I must speak with you in private," Tsunade said. Naruto nodded while an ANB wearing an owl mask appeared. "Hokage-sama." "Yes, go with Jiraiya to the hospital and take Sasuke to a prison cell. I don't trust him." "Yes, Hokage-sama." Jiraiya chuckled while he left office, jumping from the window, and the ANBU vanished. "What do you want to talk to me about, Granny?" Tsunade gazed at him. "First of all, before getting to business, I would like to ask you, what happened at the hospital?" Naruto's eyes widened hearing that. Did she figure out what happened? Did she somehow know that Sakura rejected him, and he ended up rejecting her worse than she did to him? "Granny, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything is fine." "Naruto, you can't fool me. Something has you all worked up and you were at the hospital checking on the genins. So what happened? Are you still blaming yourself for what happened to them?" Naruto felt relief. That's what she thought. This is exactly what he needed, the perfect cover-up to cover the incident that happened between him and Sakura. He needed to be very convincing and pretend that he was being honest. It was time to test his skills in acting. Tsunade saw him tightening his fist. "Looks like she hit the nail on the head. Is that it?" He slowly nodded. Yeah, I feel like it was all my fault. There was nothing I could do to save them. That's why I want to become strong so I can help them. Well, it's not a complete lie, it's half true. Stop blaming yourself for something that is not your fault. This was the kind of outcome to be expected when you send a newly recruited Chunin for Genins. Nobody got killed, they are all fine. Both Chuji and Niji have been stabilized and they are now resting. He smiled at her. Thanks, Granny. So what is it that you want to talk to me about? Well, I have decided to promote you to Chunin. What, you're promoting me to Chunin, but why? He said, shocked, not expecting this to happen. What do you think for bringing Uchiha Sasuke back to the village? Your efforts and sacrifices made it possible for you to achieve this rank, so congratulations. She smiled at him. Although the old farts in the council didn't agree to promote him, bastards, I don't give a damn what they think. Naruto stood while thinking when she mentioned efforts and sacrifices. Oh well, this is a better payment than being slapped in the face by Sakura and blown off by her. He gave her his fox grin. All right, then I will gladly accept the promotion. Good, now for the other piece of business. I knew you were planning on getting stronger with Jiraiya training you, so I talked to him. He has agreed to teach you everything he knows. Naruto was in awe. What you mean to say I'm going to learn everything? Yes, Naruto, everything, although the training mission was originally supposed to be for 3 years. But now I think it will take longer than that, probably 4 to 5 years. 5 years away from Konoha, I wish it was longer, he thought, remembering everything that Sakura told him and all the things he said to her. All right, I understand, then I will go back to my apartment and start packing. Wait, Naruto, there's more, the blonde Hokage said, stopping the blonde ninja in his tracks. Once you are done with Jiraiya's training, I will give you a new position as a ninja. A new position? What do you mean by that? It means that I have decided to make you a ninja mercenary. Wait a minute, you mean that I will get paid to do jobs? Isn't that the same thing as doing missions? It is similar, but there are a few differences. First of all, doing a mission requires a team of 3 members. Your job as a mercenary will be done alone, and you will remain outside of the village. What, doing missions on my own and outside of the village? This is exactly what I need to forget about Team 7. It's like Granny is reading my mind. So I will be doing this mission on my own. Are they the same mission you give to Chunins? Not quite, Tsunade said with a smirk. Most of them will be hunting down missing Nins. What, he shouted in complete shock. Are you giving me the job for a hunter Nin? No, Naruto, your job as a mercenary is different from a hunter Nin. The hunter Nin kills any missing Nins from their respective village in order to keep the secrets of their village safe. A mercenary captures any missing Nin from any of the ninja villages and bring them back to their respective village. So wait, I don't have to kill them? No, you only knock them down and return them to their respective village. Once that happens, the current Kage will decide that missing Nin's fate. Like killing him? Asked Naruto. Yes, so you don't have to worry yourself about getting your hands dirty. But wait, Granny, won't the hunter Nins from their villages take care of those missing Nins? If that's the case, then what's the point of me becoming a mercenary? The female Hokage smiled. Well, that will depend how popular you become. You see, some people lose their faith in their own ninja's abilities and eventually they believe they are not suitable for the job. However, if you make a name for yourself, those same people will start counting on you, and so and on. Before you know it, you'll have become a legend. Also, the possibilities of fulfilling your dream of becoming Hokage will be very high. Naruto smiled. Though I get it now, I think I'm going to like this mercenary job. Well, that will be all go, and get packing. It won't be long before Jiraiya finished sealing Sasuke's curse seal. Right, he said while opening the door. Oh, by the way, Granny, if it's too much to ask, I have another request. What is it? Naruto stood quiet, remembering the cold words he told Sakura. Can you take Sakura as your apprentice? Tsunade blinked. Sakura, my apprentice? Why? Did she ask you that she wanted to be my apprentice? No, it's nothing like that. It's just in case if she's interested. I'm pretty sure she won't turn down an offer to become the student of a Sannin, especially when she's the Hokage. Thinking about others as always, she thought with a smile. All right, I will keep it in mind. Thanks, Granny. I guess this is goodbye. I'll see you possibly in 5 years. Take care, Naruto, and be careful. I will be waiting for your safe return. He nodded while leaving the office, closing the door behind him. Tsunade's smile faded, groaning as she continued to do the paperwork. That is, until she finally noticed something that Naruto said. Wait a minute, Naruto has always called Sakura Sakura-chan. Why now? Did something happen between them? Later at the village gates. Naruto has packed his gear and some of his clothes since he will be traveling for a long. Didn't care if he wasn't going to return to Konoha for 5 years. He wishes he never has to return to this village because he didn't want to see a certain pink-haired genin ever again. Jiraiya arrived a few minutes later. He smiled. Finally they were leaving and beginning his training. Well, I managed to seal the curse seal on Sasuke's neck. He won't be able to use its power, nor it will influence him again. I don't care, Naruto mumbled. How did you say something, Naruto? No, it's nothing, come on, pervy sage, let's go already. Don't be in such a rush, kid. They both left the gates heading into the open road. Naruto took one last look at the Leaf Village before turning his gaze back to the road ahead. Goodbye Konoha, goodbye Team 7, and goodbye Sakura. I prayed that I will never return to the village ever again. It has been 3 days since Naruto left Konoha with Jiraiya. The village was quieter than usual since the loud blonde knucklehead wasn't around anymore. Some of the villagers and ninjas alike were glad that he was gone. They still hated him for being the container of the demon fox Kyuubi. Others were down because of his departure, and they were going to miss him a lot, namely members of the Rookie 9. Uchiha Sasuke was moved to an Anbu prison cell by order of the Hokage, and the council was not pleased with this decision. They wanted for their precious Uchiha to receive a nice place to stay so he can recover his wounds from his fight with Naruto at the Valley of the End. Tsunade didn't care if they were against her decision. The Uchiha was a traitor, and he must be contained in a cell for his crime to leave the village so he can join up with an S-rank criminal like Orochimaru. Jiraiya managed to seal the power of the curse seal on his neck, but he was still unstable and he could even try to leave the village again. For this purpose Tsunade has ordered to seal his chakra, completely preventing him from using his chakra performing jutsus, and that includes using the Sharingan. Tsunade and the council have come to a decision that the Uchiha will have a fair trial like any regular criminal. Of course she wasn't happy with the decision, knowing very well the outcome of the trial will be in favor of the Uchiha, since almost everyone in the council favor him, including the 3 elders Hamura, Danzu and Koharu. However, she was going to make sure that Sasuke gets the guilty sentence. Someone like him wasn't going to change, knowing that the only that matters to him is nothing but power, and he didn't care about loyalty to Konoha. A lot of the villagers were happy that their precious was brought back to the village, while others were afraid of him, that he was really a traitor and may want to join Orochimaru to try and destroy Konoha. Now, as for the ninja population in the village, they were upset with Sasuke's decision to leave Konoha. A lot of them have lost their respect for him, including members from the Rookie 9, however not all of them hated him. Sakura was the only one who was still loyal to the Uchiha. It didn't surprise the Rookie 9, she has always cared for him, traitor or not. But because of her loyalty to the Uchiha and for rejecting Naruto after he risked his life to bring him back to the village, the Rookie 9 started hating her for being so cold towards him. They were actually glad that Naruto rejected her worse than she did to him. They all knew that she didn't treated the blonde with much respect compared to how much she treats her Sasuke-kun. Ever since the academy she has always thought that he was annoying and a nuisance. But little by little the Rookie 9 realized that Naruto was not a dead last but a hard-working ninja trying to fulfill his dream of becoming Hokage. Sakura was now walking the streets of the village with a smile on her face. She just received news that Sasuke has finally woken and she couldn't wait to see him. She was carrying a bowl of fried octopus that she made herself. She could see it now, the Uchiha tasting her food and thanking her for the great meal she made for him. She took a few glances of the villagers passing by. Some of them were smiling at her because they were glad for what she did to Naruto. The rumors have already spread across the village, while others were glaring at her. However, Sakura ignored the glances and focused on her task to visit the Uchiha. She has found out about Naruto's training mission with Jiraiya and she didn't care. She was still hurt and upset with him after all the horrible things he said to her back at the hospital. As far as she was concerned, she hopes that Naruto never returns to the village. Her life took a turn for the worst in the past 3 days ever since the incident at the hospital took place. Everyone from the Rookie 9 had been ignoring her and rejecting her. Shikamaru stopped talking to her, the same with Chuji. When he found out what Sakura told Naruto, he was upset for the way she acted towards the blonde. Ino has also stopped talking to her, and she was ashamed that she was her best friend. Her infatuation with Sasuke instantly vanished when she saw the wound Naruto had on his chest courtesy of the Uchiha traitor. The Yamanaka was not the only one who lost interest in Sasuke. Almost everyone in the so-called Sasuke fangirl club have changed their opinions about him. Some of them were angry at him, while others were just afraid of him. The truth is that they didn't care for him anymore. Kiba was furious with Sakura's outburst on Naruto. After Hyakkimaru and everyone else almost got killed trying to bring Sasuke back to the village, she rejects Naruto for hurting the Uchiha. He hated her so much that he was now calling her the cold-hearted bitch. Shino hasn't said a word to her, but he was rather disappointed with her for mistreating her teammates so badly. He was also disappointed in himself because he wasn't available when the mission to retrieve Sasuke took place because he was on a mission with his father. Rock Lee was deeply disappointed in Sakura's treatment towards his blonde friend. His crush for her vanished when he heard the things she said to him. It seems he was wrong about the pink-haired Kunoichi. He thought that she was nice and kind, but now he has changed his opinion about her, and he has decided to find another girl worthy of his youthful love. Tenten was also disappointed in her. She even told her that she gave Kunoichis everywhere a bad name. As for Niji, well, Sakura didn't want to meet him. When he found out what she said to Naruto, he was more upset than Kiba. They almost died trying to bring the traitor back, and she didn't care if they were hurt or almost dying. Looks like Naruto was right, she was selfish. The only thing she cares about is the Uchiha traitor. Hinata was the only one from the Rookie Nine that was still talking to her. Sakura was grateful to her, but the others were thinking that sometimes she was too kind for her own good. She finally stopped from her thinking and continued to walk to ANBU headquarters, expecting that Sasuke will welcome her with open arms and accept her meal. She was about to find out how wrong she was. ANBU headquarters, prison section. Sasuke was seated in a bed from his cell. He couldn't believe that he was back in Konoha. He was so upset he couldn't stop thinking about the fight against Naruto at the Valley of the End. How in the world could he lose to him? He's nothing but a loser, the dead last of the academy. How could he lose? He was an Uchiha, the last of one of Konoha's most powerful clans. He's supposed to be stronger than him, and instead he was the one stronger than him. He growled he needed the power to become strong, and killed his brother so he can finally avenge his clan. He knew very well that staying in Konoha wasn't going to help him get strong. Friendship wasn't going to give him the power he needed, neither does love. It will only make him weaker. He could clearly remember his brother's words on that day when he met him at an inn when he was after Naruto. You're weak because you lack hatred, you need more hatred. He tightened his fist in anger. Staying in this cell wasn't going to help him in the least. He hated to admit it, but he was helpless. He couldn't get out. The place was fully guarded by ANBU, and his chakra has been sealed. He can't use his Sharingan, and he can't perform any jutsus. He would have reached the Sound Village long ago if it wasn't for Naruto that stopped him from going. Now he was back and he will probably be executed from his act of treason. No, he couldn't die. They wouldn't kill him. Konoha needs the Sharingan. Hopefully they will give him a different sentence than execution, but he couldn't stay here. He needed to go to Orochimaru, the only person who will give him the power he desires. He growled again, hating his blonde teammate. Why the hell he had to get in the way of his revenge? This is his fight, not Naruto's. He's the Avenger, the one who will Itachi and restore the Uchiha clan once again. Having bonds of friendship was never going to help him achieve his goal. Even when he was fighting the blonde, he didn't want it to kill him, only knock him out, giving him enough time to escape. But the thought was still tempting. It was necessary that he had to kill him in order to acquire the ultimate Sharingan, remembering Itachi's words on the night of the Uchiha clan massacre. You can also unlock Magenkyu Sharingan, but it requires one requirement: your closest friend. You must kill him. He growled. If it was to obtain the Magenkyu Sharingan, he would have killed Naruto just to have its power. Suddenly he heard a door open. Someone was coming. Obviously one of the ANBU was coming to check on him. He took a glance at the incoming person when he saw an ANBU and his second teammate Sakura. He was annoyed. She was the last person he wanted to see and hear. He was thankful to be in a prison cell so he didn't have to see her. He went back to his sitting position, completely avoiding the pink-haired genin. He knew that she eventually came to see him, saying how much she missed him. The thought annoys him till no end. Why couldn't she leave him alone? Maybe if he ignores her she will leave, but had a feeling that wasn't going to happen. Make it quick. He's not allowed to have any visitors, but I am following Hokage-sama's orders to let you see him, the ANBU said. She nodded, seeing that the ANBU left. She went back to see her precious Uchiha, who was still ignoring her. She smiled. Sasuke-kun, I'm glad to see that you're back. I really missed you. Boring, he thought, annoyed. He ignored her, but there's something he wants to know. Where's Naruto? Sakura's eyes hardened a little, which Sasuke noticed. She tried the best she could not to sound upset. He left the village with Jiraiya-sama. He's on a training mission. He won't return to the village in 5 years. Sasuke growled, hearing that. What, he already left to train? Even if he beat me, he still wants to get stronger. No, I can't let him get stronger than me. I can't. I need power. It's the only thing I need. I have to find a way to leave this place. Sakura tried to change the topic. She didn't want to know or hear anything about the blonde. Sasuke-kun, look, I made some food for you. It's fried octopus. I made it myself. I hope you like it. She blushed slightly. The Uchiha has been ignoring her since he found out about Naruto. He was thinking how to escape and go to Orochimaru. Sasuke-kun, didn't you hear me? I said I made food for you. I hope you're hungry. She smiled, while Sasuke was glaring at her. Why are you still here? I know what I wanted to hear. You can go now. But Sasuke-kun, I made some food for you and I thought we could talk. I heard you the first time. No, I'm not hungry now. Leave. Sakura, you're annoying me, he said in a growl. Sakura lowered her head, staring at the ground. Once again he has called her annoying. Why he had to be so mean to her? All she has ever wanted is to make him happy. Is that too much to ask for? She tried to be happy, keeping a smile on her face while Sasuke was still ignoring her, not even caring to make eye contact with her. Sasuke-kun, I was really worried about you. Can you at least give me a chance to make you happy? The Uchiha couldn't take it anymore. He needed to put her in her place for good. Listen to me, Sakura, good. You will never make me happy. The only thing in this world that would make me happy is killing Itachi and restoring the Uchiha clan. And even if I killed him, I would never choose someone like you to be the mother of my child. You are so annoying. I can't even stand you. Tears were falling from Sakura's jade eyes. She felt her heart breaking into a million pieces, while Sasuke continues his verbal assault on her. Sakura, if you have time to come visit me, why don't you take that time to train and get strong? Instead, you are nothing but a weakling. You are the dead weight of the team. Even Naruto proved himself to be more useful and stronger than you because you are wasting your time trying to make me to like you. Get the message, Sakura? I don't like you. I will never like you. Instead of making yourself useful to the village, you are making yourself useless. Useless and annoying, those are the best characteristic that best describes you. You are like an annoying fly that keeps flying around my face. It makes me want to squash you. I am so sick of you always following me around like a love-sick puppy. Stop acting like a weak child. You're a ninja ACT like one. You can't even think for yourself, always letting me be the one to think for you, always trying to impress me, and you're not even making a good job because you're weak. But the one thing I truly dislike of you, Sakura, is that you're a fangirl, and if you haven't noticed by now, I hate fangirls. So do me a favor and leave me alone. I don't want to see your annoying face ever again. Sasuke saw as Sakura dropped the bowl of fried octopus, shattering the crystal bowl as soon as it hit the ground. Her face was full of tears. She wasn't surprised. She had this feeling in her gut that the Uchiha was going to end rejecting her as usual, and it hurt so much. Her eyes widened in realization. This must be how Naruto always feels whenever she rejects him when he asks her out on a date. It was truly a horrible feeling. Now the only thing she was feeling for Sasuke was not sadness or heartbreak. It was anger, pure anger. She has always done whatever she could to get his attention. She was willing to give up her life just so he could acknowledge her, and instead she has made him hate her. Now she was feeling worse than ever. She rejected Naruto, he rejected her back and left the village, and now Sasuke has rejected her. She couldn't believe she just threw away her friendship with the blonde ninja for nothing. She gave it up for a traitor who wasn't worthy to be brought back to the village. It wasn't just Naruto but her friendship with Ino as well. She lost her as her best friend. Naruto was right about her. She was pathetic in the end. She has lost her friendship with two people who were close to her and loyal to her, all for someone who has never liked her or acknowledged her to be worthy of his love. Right now she didn't wanted her anger to get the best of her. She didn't bother to pick up the fried octopus on the ground. She just walked out from the cell while Sasuke felt finally got rid of one of the annoying fangirls. That was one problem solved now. If he could find a way out of here so he could go to Orochimaru. Sasuke, Sakura said, not looking at him and for the first time not calling him Sasuke-kun. The Uchiha ignored her, not wanting to hear what she had to say. He wasn't shocked that she didn't call him Sasuke-kun. Maybe she has finally given up on him. It seems miracles do happen. Screw you, bastard, she shouted in rage, her face full of tears. She left the prison area running, leaving a satisfied Uchiha behind. Although he felt bad for her a little, even if she was an annoying fangirl, she was still his teammate, nothing more. He finally ignored the topic and focused on the task at hand. He needed to find a way to leave the village and find the power he needs to get stronger. I must get the hell out of here. Orochimaru is the only one who will give me the power I need. Sakura was running through the village with her tears falling endlessly. She didn't care where she was going. She only wanted to let her tears and try to find a way to get rid of this horrible pain in her heart. Why was she so blind? Why couldn't she see it from the very beginning? She was too stubborn to admit that Sasuke didn't care for her in that way. Now she has received the last rejection from him. She has realized the painful truth. Sasuke will never love her, much less care about her. Unfortunately, she has realized the truth a little too late. She now knows that Naruto was right about her all along. She was blind, and the only thing she was Sasuke, the only thing that mattered to her precious Uchiha. She has become so low that she has chosen her love for him over all of Konoha. She dried her tears. The only thing she could do is cry. She lost her precious friends for an insignificant cause. She didn't realize that she was in a forest. She recognized this place. She didn't realize that she was now at the memorial stone, the stone where all of Konoha ninjas have died in battle in the line of duty. There, standing in front of the stone, was Kakashi. She remembered this was the place where they had the bell test. She saw the 3 logs where Naruto was tied up while she and Sasuke were supposed to eat the food in front of Naruto. She smiled, remembering the memory. If it wasn't for them to act like a team by giving the food to the blonde, those were the good times. But after everything that has happened, she knew those days were over. She walked to him, trying not to disturbing on whatever he was thinking, although the masked Jounin already knew that she was behind him. What is it, Sakura? Did you came to pay your respects to the past heroes of the village? Since I'm here, I will do it. She smiled slightly while getting next to him. So you didn't come here to honor them? I thought I taught you better, he asked while raising the brow of his visible eye. I just got here by accident. I had a lot of my mind to think about, and before I realized it I was here, but I'm still going to pay my respects. That's good. He paused before speaking again. You know that I mentioned it. I have never taught you anything besides the walking tree exercise. I'm truly a bad teacher. What a disappointment I turn out to be. Kakashi-sensei, don't be like that. You did the best you could, Sakura said, trying to cheer her teacher up. No, I didn't. I failed as a teacher once again. I have let my friends down. My father would be so disappointed in me. Sensei, what happened to Sasuke wasn't your fault. It was no one's fault. He chose to leave the village on his own free will. That was also my fault. Even if I focused more on Sasuke than you and Naruto, I still failed him. I couldn't convince him to stay in the village. He was already too late to reach. He wants revenge. Nothing else matters to him. Hearing that, Sakura lowered her head to the ground before looking at the memorial stones. Sensei, why? Why what? Asked the masked Jounin, keeping his eye on the memorial stone. I always knew that you secretly admire Sasuke a lot. You gave him more credit than me or Naruto. But I want to know why chose to train him over Naruto. I understand you didn't took me because I am useless, but why Sasuke and not Naruto? Didn't he prove to you that he was worthy to be a great student? Kakashi stood stunned at her comment. A sly smile was formed on his mask. It was kind of amusing to hear that Sakura, someone who has admired Sasuke a lot, was now defending her other teammate Naruto. It was very ironic indeed. Sakura, it's not that I admire Sasuke or anything. I didn't approve of his personality. He didn't like teamwork, nor did he approve it. He did started taking it seriously after. But you can't blame him after watching his whole family and clan murdered by his own brother. I took him under my wing just by the simple fact that he's an Uchiha. Sakura growls. So you look at him like he was all high and mighty because he's the last of the great Uchiha clan, one of Konoha's strongest clans, is that it? Kakashi shook his head. No, it wasn't because of that. A long time ago, when I was on a genin team led by my teacher the fourth, I had a friend named Obito. He was an Uchiha, but still he wasn't so talented. I was better than him. I became a Jounin when I was 12, and he was still a genin. Obito considered me as his rival. I didn't let it get to me. Still, he saw me as his friend too. It was too late before I realized that he was a great friend. Sakura was still listening to her teacher's story. I was cold. I didn't care for my teammates. I only focused on the rules. The mission was everything, nothing else. Just like Sasuke, Sakura mumbled while Kakashi nodded. Then one day I had my first mission as a Jounin. Konoha was at war with Rock. We were sent to provide backup to our forces until my other teammate Rin got captured by the enemy. I didn't want it to go after her, but Obito did. He told me how important friendship is. I will never forget his words. Those who do not follow the rules are trash, but those who abandon their friends are lower than trash. So that's where he got that, Sakura thought. Watching Obito reminded me of my father. He died protecting his friends by choosing not to follow the rules. I was upset of that, and decided to always follow the rules no matter what. So what happened? Did you go to rescue Rin? Yes, I did. We both went after. We managed to rescue her. It seems the enemy rock ninjas that kidnapped her were torturing her to get some information, anything that will help them with the war against Konoha. When we rescued her, Obito unlocked his Sharingan, and we managed to beat them. But at a terrible price. Obito's face was crushed by a boulder trying to save me, and Rin, his injuries were too severe. He didn't have much time. Rin couldn't help him since she knew medical ninjutsu. He then sacrificed his bloodline along with his life by offering me his Sharingan. He told me that I will make good use of it. I accepted his kind offer, and Rin managed to perform the operation. I thought I wouldn't be able to control the Sharingan because I'm not an Uchiha, but that didn't prevent me from trying. In time I learned to control it, and every time I use the Sharingan in battle I feel like Obito is fighting with me. Sakura was shocked at the story. So that's why you have the Sharingan on one eye. What about Rin? What happened to her? Kakashi lowered his gaze from the memorial stone. She died when the Kyuubi attacked the village, just like Sensei when he gave his life to seal. His eye widened in pure shock. He almost told the truth to his student. What sealed? What you mean sealed, Kakashi-sensei? She asked, her curiosity getting the best of her. It's nothing, Sakura, he said quickly, trying to change the subject. So anyway, in the end I lost all of my precious friends, Obito, Rin sensei, and now I have lost Sasuke to the darkness. I knew he wanted revenge. He was determined to become strong so he could kill Itachi. I should have given him more training. Sakura's eyes hardened at the mention of the Uchiha's name. And yet you taught him a powerful jutsu like Chidori, which he used to almost kill Naruto. Yes, that's why I am so ashamed of myself. I told Sasuke to only use Chidori when it was to protect his friends, and instead he used it to harm one of his friends. For that I hate myself. You're wrong, she said in pure anger. If Naruto was really his friend, he would have never hurt him with Chidori. The hole Naruto had on his chest was huge. It was mere inches from his heart. I'm surprised he's still alive, and he could walk like nothing happened. Naruto really is strong. The world must be coming to an end. Sakura, Sasuke's #1 fangirl, is actually praising Naruto over him. I never thought I would see the day, Kakashi thought, amused. Sakura, are you okay? I'm fine. Why would you ask? Well, you actually stood up for Naruto over Sasuke. Not that I'm upset or anything, but why? Sakura stood quiet, remembering the way Naruto treated her, and the way Sasuke has always treated her. Well, I have realized that Sasuke never actually looked up to me as a friend or a teammate. Naruto was the only one who has treated like a true friend, and instead I treated him like dirt. He even risked his life to bring him back, and yet I spit on my face. I really didn't mean to say those mean words to him. I was just frustrated to see Sasuke so hurt in that bed that I snap on Naruto. I wish I could take all the things I said to him. A few tears escaped from her jade eyes. I see. I heard what happened at the hospital 3 days ago. I'm sure Naruto didn't meant to say those words to you, Sakura. But all the things he said to me, they were so cold and cruel. I would never thought him of all people would get so angry, especially if it's me. It doesn't surprise me why he snapped on you like that, Sakura. I should tell you, you know that Naruto never had a nice childhood because the way the villagers treated him. That's why every time they glare at him, insulted him, and got beat up by them, he suppressed all those emotions behind a smile. He chose not to show anger, so the only one who would get hurt is him, and only him. I don't understand, why would he do something like that? Sakura asked, feeling sorry for the blonde. I guess crying and unleashing his anger on someone wasn't going to do nothing. To him it was better to smile and not let it get to him. Every time he fell down he will stand and continue to walk without crying because he got hurt. But doing that has some bad consequences. By holding his true emotions he was only making it worse. Sooner or later he was going to blow like a bomb for holding all those emotions inside, and I guess what happened at the hospital was the last straw that made him reach critical level. When he told you those awful things he finally snapped from holding all of his emotions inside of him from his childhood. I'm certain that he didn't meant to say those words to you. Sakura looked down while remembering the words Naruto said to her. She remembers that he was very angry with her. Are you sure, Kakashi-sensei? He was very angry with me. Maybe he really meant those words. No, I don't think that's true. Knowing Naruto, he must be feeling terrible. He must be feeling so guilty with himself. He's the kind of person who would never hurt his friends, especially you, Sakura. Why would he feel bad? I deserve it for all the things I did and said to him. Why would he feel guilty? She thought, feeling her heart aching in pain. You know, Kakashi-sensei, I'm glad he said those awful words to me. Kakashi looked at her, shocked. Why would you be glad? He was worried for her. Sometimes a cold slap to the face can bring someone back to reality. Well, I'd better get going. There's a place I have to go. I'll see you later, Kakashi-sensei. She turned to walk away before looking back at him. Sensei, don't feel bad for yourself. Obito-rin and your sensei, they wouldn't wanted you be like this. Instead, you should learn from your mistakes. We all have to, even me. She finally left the memorial while Kakashi was shocked at her words. Was that really Sakura? What happened to her? She sounds mature. Sakura was walking the streets heading for her destination until she passed the Yamanaka flower shop. She remembers that by this hour Ino should be working as part of her shift. She entered the shop to see Ino putting some flowers in their rightful place. She turned around to greet the guests because she heard the door been open. She smiled, but her smile faded as soon as she saw the pink-haired genin. She quickly turned her back to her while Sakura was expecting this kind of behavior from her best friend. After all, she hasn't forgiven her for the things she told to Naruto back at the hospital. Sakura gazed at her. She wanted to talk to her even if she was going to ignore her. Hey Ino, how are you doing? The Yamanaka didn't reply. She still had her back turned to her while she continued to assemble the flowers. Sakura sighed. Of course you won't talk to me. You haven't forgiven me for being such a bitch to Naruto. You have every right to treat me like this, but I came here to tell you that even if you won't talk to me, I want you to know that you're still my best friend, Ino. The bleached blonde was still doing her work, while a few tears escaped from Sakura's eyes. You don't know how sorry I am for throwing our friendship away, all for that bastard. Because of him I have also threw away my friendship with Naruto. Because of my blindness for that traitor I pushed away two of the most important persons in my life, my best friend and my dear teammate. Ino was still doing her work with her back turned and Sakura was sobbing softly. You have every right to hate me, but I will never hate you or Naruto. No matter what, you're still my best friend and Naruto will remain my friend and teammate, even if he hates me. It's time for a change. I promise you I will never be selfish ever again. This is a new me. I will also earn your trust again, Ino. The same with Naruto, because I love you both. She was going to say something else, but the sound sobbing interrupted her. She noticed that the sobbing was coming from the Yamanaka, who stopped assembling the flowers. Ino looked back at her, drying her tears. It was futile as more tears emerged from her sky-blue eyes. Look what you make me do, forehead. I have wet the flowers in my tears. Sakura chuckled at her comment. Seeing that Ino was crying, she went to her, giving her a big hug. She accepted her hug, feeling maybe she will forgive her, and they can forge their friendship once again. Ino broke the hug while drying her tears. Sakura was happy this at least Ino didn't seem to hate her. I'm sorry for ignoring you. I know I did wrong. I shouldn't have abandoned you when you needed me the most. I know you were feeling terrible for what happened at the hospital, but I was so upset with you. It's all right, Ino. You don't have to apologize. I had it coming. I'm just happy that you're not angry at me anymore. The bleached blonde frowned. Who says I'm no longer angry with you? I'm still, and you better apologize to Naruto when he returns or I will never forgive you. I will. After all, I have 5 years to write my apology speech. I just hope he will accept my apology. We'll just have to wait and see. By the way, Sakura, I thought I heard wrong, but when you were talking to me I kind of heard that you called Sasuke a bastard. That's not the kind of word to call the boy that you like. Sakura only snorted. I don't care about him anymore. He can rot in hell for all I care. Ino's eyes widened in shock while her mouth was wide open. Did she heard right? Did her best friend, who had a big crush on the Uchiha, just said that she didn't care for him anymore, and he can rot in hell? What was wrong with this picture? Okay, maybe she was dreaming, perhaps she was working too much, Never ever she was going to hear Sakura saying that she didn't care about Sasuke. She quickly pinched herself, and she was still standing at the flower shop while Sakura was smirking at her. She looked at her in the eyes and out her hand on her forehead. Maybe she was having a fever, making her delusional. Sakura's sweat dropped seeing the Yamanaka's reaction. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. I don't care about Sasuke anymore. Okay, who are you and what have you done with forehead? It's me. Okay, so cut it out, she said, highly annoyed. I finally realized he was not worth my time. I went to visit him earlier today, and what do you think he said to me? As usual, he rejected me again. I couldn't take it anymore. He hates me. Fine, I won't get in his way anymore. Let him do whatever he wants, but I'm done always trying to win him over when he will never be interested in love. The only thing he's interested is his revenge. Ino was still shocked. I can't believe you have gotten over Sasuke so fast, just like that. Well, after being rejected so many times by him, I finally got the message. Naruto was right all along. I will never care for someone like Sasuke. He has lost himself in his revenge, and he refuses to have any help from us. It will be better if we let him do things on his own. He might not get his revenge after all. Haven't you heard? Tomorrow there's going to be a trial about Sasuke's betrayal. We all know that a ninja who leaves the village without orders from the Hokage, the punishment is death. Obviously they will find him guilty for his crime. Let's not forget that he hurt a fellow Konoha ninja. That also counts as a crime. Either way, no matter what the sentence will be, I don't care. Sasuke chose his path in leaving the village to try to go to Orochimaru to get power. Ino nodded in agreement, knowing that her best friend was right. Anyway, I have to get back to work. I guess I will see you later, Sakura. Yeah, and there's somewhere I have to be. I will see you later, Ino. She reached for the exit. Hey, Sakura, called the bleached blonde. What is it? She asked while looking back at her. When you said you love me and Naruto both, in Naruto's case, what kind of love are we talking about? She grinned a little. Sakura gasped while her face flushed. It's nothing like that, honest. I love him as a friend, nothing more. Well, take care, Ino. She quickly left the shop. The Yamanaka smirked seeing her reaction. Well, maybe there's something more that Sakura wants to earn from Naruto besides his friendship. After all, who would have thought? Later at the Hokage's office, Tsunade was having another great day of filling paperwork. She was praying in her mind that all of the paperwork will burn to ashes. Yeah, it was wishful thinking from her part. The door opened and Shizen came with Tantan. She was carrying a large stock of papers, making the female Hokage's sweat dropped. Here, Tsunade-sama, these documents need the seal of the Hokage. They also need your signature for approve. A vein pops up on her forehead. Shizen, are you going to give me more paperwork? I am sick of this. Tsunade-sama, this is what happens when you let the paperwork grow. You're supposed to do this every day so it doesn't overload, but you do it once a week. Yeah, at least bring me some sake, Tsunade mumbled. I'm sorry, I can't do that. You're not supposed to drink when you're working. Who are you, my mother? I'm always working, damn it, I need sake now, the blonde Hokage said, annoyed. But Tsunade-sama, I. Now get going, she shouted. Shizen left the office running, followed by a scared Tantan. Tsunade smirked in satisfaction. At least she will have a couple of drinks while filling the damn paperwork. She then heard a knock on the door. Come on in. The door opened, revealing Sakura. Tsunade looked back at her with a slight grin. Well, who do we have here? The one who rejected Naruto miserably, and the most ignored genin in the village. This should be fun. Sakura closed the door while getting in front of her desk. Come, Tsunade-sama, I was hoping if I could talk to you. Sure, what is it, Sakura? She paused, hoping that she will say yes. Tsunade-sama, please take me as your apprentice. Tsunade smirked in her mind. Well, what do you know? I guess Naruto was right after all. He was expecting that Sakura was going to ask me to be her student. She sighed. Sakura, I'm sorry, but I will have to decline because I'm the Hokage. I'm always busy. I don't have any free time to relax. And speaking of that, where the hell is Shizen with my sake? Please, Tsunade-sama, I need this training. I want to become a medic ninja. You're the best medic in the village. You're the only one who can train me to become the best. Why, are you trying to impress Sasuke? Tsunade got a growl from the pink-haired genin. I'm not trying to impress that traitor. I want to become a strong ninja. What kind of ninja I am if I'm not strong enough to defend the village? The female Hokage saw determination reflected in her jade eyes. That was unexpected. She doesn't care about the traitor anymore. It seems she is no longer a Sasuke fangirl. Sakura, I am moved by your words. I know that Kakashi hasn't given you proper training, but are you sure you want to become strong to protect the village, or maybe there is someone else you want to impress? Sakura stood quiet, and it was true, there is someone she wants to impress, or more precise acknowledgement from that person. Yes, that is another reason why I want to do this. I want to protect Konoha like a proud ninja of the leaf wood. By becoming a medic ninja I will save lots of lives, so please teach me. Based on the answer you gave me earlier, you don't want to impress Sasuke. That's good, but why? Why should I take you as my apprentice after what you did to Naruto? Her hazel eyes were glaring at her. Sakura gulped. She knew she was in trouble. After all, Tsunade was fond of the blonde ninja. Obviously, the rumor what happened at the hospital 3 days ago spread through the entire village. It was expected that she was going to find out eventually. She needed to be careful with her answer. She has learned at the academy about Tsunade and her super strength. One punch from could destroy an entire mountain. Giving her the wrong answer might earn her a ticket to the hospital or the graveyard. I know that what I did to Naruto at the hospital was unforgiving and I don't deserve any forgiveness, but I really want to become strong. Please, I don't want to be weak and useless anymore. Tsunade grunted in response. My answer remains the same. I'm sorry, but I won't take you as my apprentice. Now go, I have lots of work to do. Please, she shouted, shocking the Hokage. She didn't yell in anger but in anguish. Tears were falling from her eyes. I need this training because I want to protect Konoha and my ninja way. I want to gain Naruto's friendship and his trust. I want to forge our bonds once again. I know what I have done to him was wrong for everything I have done to him. But this is my chance to prove to him that I'm not weak. I want to show him my growth, my strength. Tsunade glared at her. So the real reason you want to become my apprentice is so you can impress Naruto. It sounds similar to your fangirl side. However, you want to protect the village, and I believe everything you have told me. But what if the training was for nothing? What if Naruto never forgives you for what you did to him at the hospital, and not just that but everything you have done to him in his entire life? Once again, Tsunade saw determination in Sakura's eyes. I don't care how long it will take me. I will earn his trust. One will prove to him that I am worthy to be his friend no matter what. I will have Uzumaki Naruto as my dear friend once again. That is my promise of the lifetime. Tsunade chuckled in her mind. If she only knew that Naruto was the one that recommended me to take her as my apprentice in the first place, she will be surprised. Maybe I will tell her someday. You really are stubborn, Sakura. All right, I will take you as my apprentice. Sakura smiled while drying her tears. Thank you, Tsunade-sama. I promise I won't disappoint you. I will live up to your expectations. I hope so, because the training won't be a walk in the park. I won't go easy on you, Sakura. We will begin with the training tomorrow. Trust me, you will need the rest. Yes, thank you, Tsunade-sama. Well, now that we have that solved, where the hell is my sake? Shizen? Shizen burst through the door holding a bottle of sake, panting heavily, followed by Taunton. I'm sorry, Tsunade-sama, but it took a while to get to the bar and back here. Here it is. About time, she said while serving the sake on a glass. Please, Tsunade-sama, don't drink too much. Remember that you still have to fill the paperwork, Shizen said. Yes, Mother, Tsunade said, annoyed, while Sakura giggled at the sight. Time skip. Nightfall. ANBU headquarters, prison section. Sasuke was trying to sleep in his cell, but he couldn't ever since he found out about Naruto going on a training mission with one of the legendary Sanins. It angers him till no end. Why does he have to get the great privilege in living on a training trip with one of Konoha's strongest ninjas? It should be him. He's the last of the great Uchiha clan. He deserves the right to be trained by a Sanin. He had his chance to be trained by one. Unfortunately, he was stopped by Naruto. He growled, remembering the fight at the Valley of the End. He was supposed to defeat him, and killed him, acquiring the power of the Magenkyu Sharingan. His thought was interrupted when he heard the door to the prison section being open. He groaned. One of the ANBU was obviously going to check on him to make sure that he hasn't escaped. He looked from his cell and saw an ANBU wearing a brown cloak and a cat mask with a piece of the mask colored green. He groaned in annoyance. What do you want? I haven't done nothing bad. Oh, but you did something bad, Sasuke-kun. It was rude of you to keep Orochimaru-sama waiting. Sasuke's eyes widened. He got up from the bed. Who are you? The ANBU took off his mask, revealing a very familiar face to the Uchiha. Kabuto, it's you. I heard that you were Orochimaru's spy back at the Chunin exams, so I guess you're here to get me out of here, Sasuke said with a grin. Yes, and I went through a lot of trouble to get all the way here and take care of the ANBU forces in the building. It's hard to believe that the Sound 4 and Kimimaro were all killed. No wonder they were able to capture you. The Uchiha growled. It was Naruto. That dope should have stayed out of my way. Kabuto chuckled. Ah, so it was Naruto-kun, the one who brought you back. How ironic. He adjusted his glasses. Sasuke growled. Well, are you going to get me out of here or not? Yes, I suppose since you haven't tried to escape, it must mean that they have sealed your chakra. Yeah, I can't use jutsus and my Sharingan, and that Sanin sealed the power of the cursed seal. I'm useless the way I am right now. You must be talking about Jiraiya. He is a seal master after all, but that's all right. Orochimaru-sama can take care of those problems. Now move aside. Sasuke did, and Kabuto's hand glowed with chakra, making it hard like steel. He crushed the lock of the cell, opening it. Here, put this on, Kabuto said while giving him a gray cloak with a hood. He put his mask back on. We must hurry. The ANBU patrol should be here any minute now. Sasuke was now wearing the cloak. He nodded and they left the prison section. At Sakura's house. Sakura has changed into her pajamas. She was ready to go to bed. She knew that from this day on her life was going to become hard, knowing that she was going to start her training with Tsunade tomorrow. Before going to bed, she took a look at the picture of Team 7 resting in her nightstand. She took the picture from the frame and ripped the part where Sasuke was, leaving only her Naruto and Kakashi in the photo. She has finally had enough of the Uchiha Avenger. She couldn't stand him any longer ever since he said those things to her back at the prison section of the ANBU headquarters. She has finally opened her eyes to the truth, seeing the real Uchiha Sasuke as a power-hungry, selfish bastard who only cares about revenge. She placed the half picture back into the frame and went to window. She was staring at the sky filled with stars. It was a very beautiful sight. That's when she saw a shooting star that crossed the sky. She decided to make a wish. I wish to become friends with Naruto once again. She finally went to her bed. Closing her eyes, she drifted to sleep. Naruto, wherever you are, I hope you're all right. In a forest somewhere in the Fire Country territory, Naruto was sleeping in his sleeping bag while Jiraiya was snoring in his sleeping bag. The blonde was twisting and turning, obviously annoyed because he couldn't get to sleep. He got up when he heard something. He looked left and right and he gazed at the sky, seeing a shooting crossing the sky. I thought I heard Sakura's voice. Now must be my imagination. He went back to his sleep while battling with the Toad San and snoring. Hokage Tower, Hokage's bedroom. Shizen burst through the door, seeing that Tsunade was still sleeping in her bed. Tsunade-sama, please wake up. The blonde Hokage started getting up, mumbling that someone was going to die for waking her. She glared, seeing the young woman. Shizen, this better be good. She gulped while nodding her head. Yes, Tsunade-sama, it's urgent. Uchiha Sasuke has escaped. What? Back at ANBU headquarters, there were ANBU members checking the cell where Sasuke was. Kakashi was there checking the destroyed lock of the cell along with the bodies of the ANBU guards. I've seen this before, Kakashi thought, remembering when the ANBU guards were taken out back at the hospital because they were guarding Sasuke back at the Chunin exams. No doubt about it, this has to be his work. What happened here? Kakashi turned to see Tsunade and Shizen heading his way. Hokage-sama, Sasuke has escaped. Yes, I know that already. What I want to know is how the hell did he get out? Obviously someone busted him out. He couldn't use any jutsus because his chakra was sealed in, the NBU said. Yes, and I have a pretty good idea who was the one responsible for helping him escape, Kakashi said. Who? Asked Shizen. The only ninja with the skills to take out so many ANBU and that I know of is Yakushi Kabuto. Kabuto, Tsunade said with a growl. Damn, so Orochimaru took Sasuke after all. Naruto's effort was for nothing. We should search for them, another ANBU said. Forget it, by now they must be out of the village, and they could be reaching the border of the Fire Country as we speak. Besides, I'm not going to even bother to send another retrieval team. Bringing that traitor back again is not worthy. I'd rather see him in a body bag along with Orochimaru. The council won't be happy with this, Shizen said. I know, they were so looking forward for tomorrow's trial so they can vote their precious Uchiha not guilty. It's better this way, Tsunade said as she went to an ANBU. I want Sasuke's information to be put in every Konoha bingo book, and called the hunter means the Uchiha traitor will be hunt down and kill. Yes, Hokage-sama, the ANBU said while vanishing. I trust you have no objections with my decision, Kakashi. The copy ninja shook his head. None whatsoever, Hokage-sama. Good, now let's all go back and get some rest. Tomorrow is another day. They left while Kakashi was looking at the cell. I'm sorry, Sasuke, forgive me, I have failed you, but your crime cannot go unpunished. Jiraiya and Naruto were continuing their journey across the Fire Country. Right now they were traveling in a forest. So far they haven't stopped to a town, and right now he didn't have the money to afford an inn or to be with women. But to Jiraiya there was one thing that had him more worried than not having any money to spend on women. It was the fact that after a couple of days traveling he hasn't heard anything coming out of the mouth of the blonde genin Naruto. He already knew how Naruto behaves. He was the loudmouth hyperactive ninja. He was always bugging him about teaching him a cool new jutsu, or to train him, but not one word came out of his mouth. Maybe he was sick. Was he having some kind of fever that prevents him from talking? It must be one hell of a sickness to make the most talkative ninja to prevent him from saying even the shortest sentence. One thing was for certain to the Toad Sanins. This wasn't the Uzumaki Naruto he has known. He looked like a complete stranger, like someone he has met for the first time in his life. He gazed at the blonde who was still quiet, not a single smile on his face, saying that he was so looking forward to the big training schedule he has for him for the upcoming years, so he can start his new position as a Konoha mercenary. They continued walking while Jiraiya was finally reaching his limit. No doubt that something has happened to his student when he was back on Konoha. Why else would he be dead silent without looking all cheery and happy? What in the world is wrong with him? He hasn't said a single word since we left Konoha. The Toad Sannin has finally given up and stopped walking while Naruto was still walking, not realizing that his teacher has stopped. Jiraiya grabbed his shoulder, getting the blonde ninja's attention. All right, Naruto, let's rest up here for a bit before heading out again. Naruto nodded as he got seated to a large rock next to the Toad Sannin. He was still quiet without showing any emotion in his face, and Jiraiya finally sighed and defeated. He needed to know what was wrong with his student. Naruto, you've been awfully very quiet since we left the village. Is there something wrong? Naruto didn't answer. He was still quiet. Jiraiya sighed again. Look, Naruto, I don't need to be a genius to realize that something is wrong with you. I mean, you haven't said nothing since we left Konoha. Staying quiet, it's not you. You are a loudmouth brat. You haven't called me perverted hermit, and you haven't said a thing about me teaching you a new jutsu, so tell me what's wrong with you. Naruto still didn't answer. Instead, he turned his head away from him, looking at the opposite direction. He sighed once more. He knew now that this was a serious matter. Whatever reason that had Naruto acting like this, it could mean that he has experienced something terrible, although he hoped that it wasn't too serious to get so worried over. He got seated on the rock with him because it was wide enough in size. He touched his shoulder. Naruto, you might feel better if you tell me what's wrong. We're going to be traveling together for a long time. Might as well start opening up to me, so what do you say? Are you going to tell me what has you so down and quiet? Naruto sighed in defeat. There was no way he was going to evade this. Jiraiya will eventually keep bugging him about it, so might as well tell him and finally get it over with. Something happened after we all made it back from the mission to retrieve Sasuke. He tried to erase that horrible memory, but it got back to haunt him. Oh yeah, everyone was safe. Some of them were injured. However, thanks to Konoha's medical team, they are finally fine and feeling well. Don't tell me that's what has you all depressed. You're blaming yourself for what happened to your companions. He shook his head. No, that's not it. I know now that it wasn't my fault. We all fought hard to rescue Sasuke, and I am happy that I brought him back to the village. I fulfilled my promise to. He couldn't dare say her name. It reminded him of her hurtful words and his horrible outburst towards her. It happened at the hospital. We were waiting outside of Sasuke's room. Then she came with Ino. She? Asked the Toad Sannin with a raised eyebrow. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about my other teammate, he said softly, hating himself as the past events that occurred back at the hospital kept repeating in his head over and over again. Jiraiya smiled, knowing now who he was talking, although he find it strange that he didn't say her name. You mean the girl with the pink hair? What was her name again? Let's see. Oh, that's right, Sakura. Hearing the name of the pink-haired kunoichi, Naruto flinched like he was just stabbed by something very sharp. Jiraiya saw his reaction, and now he had an idea what was going on. Judging from his reaction from hearing her name, and not mentioning her name, Naruto, did something happen between you and Sakura? The blonde Jinchuriki slowly nodded, not looking at the Toad Sannins. He gazed at the blue sky. Before we left to go rescue Sasuke, I promised Sakura that I was going to bring him back. It was a promise of the lifetime. I did fulfill that promise. I was hoping that she was going to be so happy with me because I brought him back to her, but that's not what happened. Jiraiya watched as Naruto tightened his fist in anger, remembering that horrible day she turned me down. She rejected me because I brought him back injured. Even if he tried to kill me, she didn't care about that. She only cared that her Uchiha was hurt, and she yelled at me because of that. I understand that she was upset because she loves him very much, but she should have at least shown some concern for me. Even when I showed her the wound on my chest that I received by Sasuke, she didn't care at all. Ever since that day when we returned to Konoha with Granny and she healed Sasuke, when Sakura hugged him and cried on his shoulder, the wound I received on my heart was painful, but on that day I've made up my mind. From that day on I chose to dedicate myself to make her happy. The most important thing that will matter is to make her happy no matter what, and now I have failed her in that completely. Jiraiya still didn't know why he was so upset until he saw it, something he thought he will never see in the blonde ninja. Tears were forming at the corner of his blue eyes. At the hospital I snapped at her. I yelled at her, I insulted her, I told her words that were so cruel and cold. It was the most horrible thing I have ever done in my entire life. I rejected her in the worst way that no person should reject another. I broke her, I crushed the one girl I promised myself to make her happy no matter how much it will hurt me. It didn't matter to me because my heart is already destroyed by her. Naruto looked back at him with tears falling from his eyes. You know the worst part of this? That the one girl I have truly loved in my entire life since I was a kid, after what I did to her, hates me with all her might, and I deserve it. She hates me now, she despises me so much. Why does this have to hurt so much? Why, damn it, why? He couldn't hold it anymore, and broke down crying hard. Jiraiya took the sobbing blonde into a conforming hug, feeling sorry for him. To think he has experienced a true heartbreaking moment, something so terrible that will destroy him emotionally. He was pretty amazed himself. After experiencing such breakdown, he managed to hold his emotions for days. Any other person would have broken down in the first day, but not Naruto. After a couple of minutes of crying, Naruto started calming down. Jiraiya broke the hug. Seeing that he was drying his tears, he gave him a friendly slap on his back. I'm sorry that you have to go through such a hard situation. I can't blame you for snapping at Sakura like that. You finally broke down. You couldn't hold it anymore, Naruto. It was going to happen sooner or later. I know she has always hated me, even if I tried to make her like me at least as a friend, but I couldn't even do that, and after what I did she hate me till death. No, that's not what I'm talking about, Naruto. I'm talking about that you're the kind of person that holds your personal emotions within you. You see, you don't show any anger towards the people of the village who used to hate you. Instead, you will suppress it within you and didn't let it get to you. The same goes when you were feeling like crying, you would just hold the feeling, not paying attention to it. It wouldn't be long before all those emotions that you have bottled up within you would have overloaded your system, and eventually you will unleash your frustration and anger on someone in particular. So you're saying that I snapped at Sakura at a bad time just when my emotions have finally gotten the better of me? I know I didn't meant to say all those horrible things to her, but I felt so angry, like I couldn't hold my anger anymore. Exactly, so you've finally realized the truth. Naruto, you have always been the kind of person that will help others no matter what, especially if those people have become precious to you. However, you have never tried to help yourself. You always focus on others because you're reliable, but you have never focused on yourself or your own problems. You're always helping other people, but you have never thought of how to help yourself to become a more emotional Naruto. He smiled at his student. What do you mean by that? He asked, not having a clue what he's talking about. Jiraiya sighed. I'm talking about if you feel like crying, then cry. If you feel like laughing, then laugh. If you feel angry, then be angry, but don't try to hold your emotions like you usually do, because if you do keep it up, then another incident like the one at the hospital with Sakura might happen again. As my student, I hope you take my advice to heart. Naruto was in deep thought after hearing the Toad Sannin's words. He has never been selfish in his entire life, always caring for his friends, not thinking about himself, not even once. He thought about all the times Sakura had rejected him from going on a date with him, and the punches she has given him. It didn't matter to him at first, but on the inside he was really upset, always hiding his true emotions over a fake smile. His teacher was telling the truth. He has been hiding his emotions all along, without realizing that he has learned to suppress all of his emotions into a powerful barrier, ignoring what he truly feels and continue to live his life to the fullest. Naruto gazed into the distance, not looking at any place in particular. I guess you're right, perverted hermit. I didn't realize myself that I was holding my emotions so well. I mean, every time Sakura rejected me and hit me, I felt so angry with her, but I pretended to be happy like nothing has happened. She didn't have to treat me like that. Instead of saying no, I just don't understand women at all. Jiraiya chuckled, giving him another friendly slap on his back. Yes, understanding women is one of this world's biggest mysteries. I, the Toad Hermit, have learned a lot about them over the years, so let me shine some knowledge about them to you. You see, Naruto, girls at the age of Sakura don't know what they want in a boy, and they chose to follow the crowd. So she chose to like Sasuke because of what the people thought about him, since he was the last of the Uchiha clan, and they praise him as a hero. Eventually Sakura, along with other girls, like him because of his reputation and his mysterious attitude, but they didn't like him as a candidate to find true love. It's just a silly schoolgirl crush. So this is the truth, young girls. They don't know what true love is until they find out when it's too late. There, with this knowledge I have given you, I hope you passed it on to the next generation of men so they can understand women better. Naruto was impressed at the Toad Sannin's words. It really makes sense. His eyes widened in realization. No way, perverted hermit, are you saying that Sakura doesn't love Sasuke? A hidden spark of hope was reflected in his cerulean eyes. Well, judging at the way she used to admire him and looked at him, in my personal opinion, yes. What Sakura had for Sasuke was just a crush. Eventually she didn't realize it, that it turned into an empty obsession. She's too blind to realize the truth. The blonde nodded. If it's truth what the perverted hermit says, then I hope Sakura realized the truth soon. I guess what you say makes sense. Everyone in the village respects Sasuke and looked at him like he was all high and mighty, so it never surprised me why all the girls in the academy were after him, including Sakura. He chuckled a little. After this I think I feel a little better, thanks, perverted hermit. The Toad Sannin sighed. Naruto, would it kill you to call me sensei or Jiraiya sensei? Any of those, but not that one. Naruto gave him his fox grin. Nope, I think perverted hermit suits you better. You really are one. Jiraiya's sweat dropped, but he smiled. Looks like he's getting back to normal, but he will need time to heal his mind and his heart. By the way, Naruto, about Sakura, I don't think she hates you like you say. Naruto was shocked at his comment. How can you say that after everything I told her? She must hate me with all the anger in the world. Of course she hates me a lot. Listen to me, Naruto, I believe Sakura has realized her mistake at the things she told you at the hospital, which lead you to unleash your anger on her. It might take her some time to finally realize that she did the wrong thing in hurting you like she did. For all we know, she might be regretting what she did to you as we speak. So what are you saying? That Sakura is not angry with me for snapping at her the way I did? I find it impossible to believe. Believe me then, I think Sakura is hurt because she finally understood that what she said to you was a horrible mistake, and it was completely uncalled for. Naruto, I know that you are very hurt because of this, but I am certain that Sakura is very hurt too, just like you. Naruto was at a loss of words. He gazed at the Toad Sannin with a pure disbelief look in his eyes. I just can't believe it. She's hurt too. Perverted hermit, how could you know? I really want to believe you and all, but I don't know if it's the truth. Jiraiya stood quiet for a moment. He felt like opening an old wound from a very long time. I know it's true because the same thing happened to me a long time ago. What do you mean? Asked the blonde in confusion, not knowing what he was talking about. Jiraiya sighed, turning his gaze to the trees ahead. A long time ago, back when me and Tsunade were jounins. It happened a month after Dan died. His eyes softened, remembering the day. Dan, I think I heard that name before. Shizen-san told me about him. Wasn't he Granny's boyfriend or something? Yes, he was. Anyway, we both went to one of the village taverns to have a couple of drinks of sake. Tsunade had too much to drink, and she was obviously drunk. I, on the other hand, wasn't so drunk, and I heard her sobbing, telling me about her life, how sorry she was. The point is that she started saying how much better Dan was compared to me, that he was the perfect man and I was a total loser that wasn't worth any woman's time, and that's when I snapped at her because of the influence of the alcohol in me. Naruto gasped hearing that, but he was more shocked when he noticed the look of sadness in his eyes. He could tell that he was really hurt the same way as himself. No words escaped from his mouth. He only waited for his teacher to continue telling the story. I was very angry with her. I shouted at her and insulted her. I caused a scene at the tavern at the A&B. You have to take me away, but I will never forget the few words I remember from that day, that to this very day I regret saying them to her over and over again. Naruto watched in shock, seeing that a few tears escaped from the Toad Sannin's eyes. I told her that she's destined to have all of her loved ones to die because of the Hokage's necklace, and she deserves it for all the times she has rejected me and treated me like crap. I told her that I wasn't going to die since I wasn't one of her loved ones. With the way she treats me, I was such a fool. When the ANBU took me outside of the tavern, they were going to take me to an ANBU prison cell for disturbing the peace. All of a sudden Tsunade comes running to me, her face full of tears, and you will be surprised what she told me. What did she told you? Asked the shocked Naruto, who was giving all of his attention to the story. Jiraiya dried the few tears that fall from his eyes. She told me that I was one of her loved ones because I was her most precious person in the entire world, and she will never forgive herself and something happens to me. After that she threw up and passed out. One of the ANBU took her to her home. I knew she was telling the truth. I mean, drunken people never lies. So you see, Naruto, even if she was drunk, Tsunade realized her mistake and the hurt it caused me. I also know my mistake and the hurt it caused to her on that day. Naruto stood quiet, shocked at the story he just heard. A few tears fall from his face, realizing that his teacher has also felt his pain. He wondered if Sakura was feeling the same way. Perverted hermit, I'm sorry you feel this way because of me. You have to remember that horrible day. I'm sorry. No, Naruto, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. I haven't forgotten about that day and I will never will. Tsunade, on the other hand, doesn't remember a thing because she was too drunk on that day to remember anything. Things weren't so bad. I was bailed out from the ANBU prison thanks to Sarutobi-sensei though. I have no idea that you have experienced something so horrible. I'm really sorry, Naruto said while looking at the ground. Well, that was actually the second most horrible thing that has happened to me. The most horrible thing that has happened to me is when I tried to peek at Tsunade when she was in the hot bath. She beat the living hell out of me. I had almost every bone in my body broken, and I thought I was going to die. Of course, I had to stay in the hospital for 3 months to recover. That was one hell of an experience I was never going to forget ever. Naruto gulped in horror, thinking about Tsunade beating his teacher like she was murdering him. For a moment he thought if the same thing happened, if it was him the one who peeked at Sakura when she was at the hot baths. He trembled in fear, thinking the horrible punishment the pink-haired Kunoichi would give him. He tried to erase the fearful thought from his system. Jiraiya finally got up from the rock. Well, we better get going. We have already wasted time. Let's go, Naruto. He nodded while getting up from the rock and they continued traveling. The Toad Sannin gazed at him, and he could see that he had a small smile on his face. It seems he was feeling a little better, but it will take more time for him to be healed from his hurtful experience. Naruto, one more thing. What is it? About Sakura. Do you still love her? Naruto was surprised. He wasn't expecting to hear this. He remained quiet and thought about everything Sakura has done to him. No matter what he do, he couldn't get her out of his mind. It was like she had him wrap around her finger. He was never good at lying, so he will be honest as he has been in his entire life. He looked back at his teacher with nod. I guess I still do. I know it sounds crazy after everything she has done to me, even if it's hopeless. Now wait a minute, I thought it was your way of the ninja to never give up, so why do you sound like you just did? I never give up, perverted hermit. I only think that Sakura will never like me like that. I don't have an answer to that one. The only advice I can give you is to give it some time. Who knows, after 5 years Sakura might be interested in you like that. The blonde ninja chuckled at his comment. Yeah, right, that will never happen. Sakura will never love me. That will be wishful thinking from my part. Like I said, give it some time because it's just like they say, only time will tell. That's nice, I guess I will give it a try. Thanks, perverted hermit. It's sensei or Jiraiya sensei, the Toad Sannin said with frown. Whatever you say, perverted hermit, Naruto said with his fox grin. Brat, he muttered. They continued traveling while Naruto was in deep thought. I wonder, will I be able to face Sakura ever again? Konoha training field. Tsunade and Sakura were walking, heading to one of the training fields. Shizen and Taunton was also with them. Today was Sakura's first day in training with the Hokage, and she was going to make sure she did her best to prove herself to the female Hokage to be a worthy candidate as her student. Tsunade gave a quick glance at the pink-haired genin and smirked. She could tell she has changed so much in the last couple of days. Her determination to become Naruto's friend once again has transformed her into a new and improved Sakura. She was really impressed when she told her that Sasuke has escaped from prison thanks to Kabuto. He was obviously with Orochimaru by now, expecting that Sakura will break down and cry her heart out, but that's not what happened. When Sakura found out about Sasuke, she stood calm and she snorted like she didn't care for the Uchiha anymore. At this, Tsunade was proud. It seems she has truly changed to a better person. They reached the middle of the training field while Shizen and the pet pig were in a safe distance. Knowing this training was going to get ugly, Tsunade gazed at the pink-haired Kunoichi. The determination in her jade eyes was even stronger than the determination Naruto usually shows in his eyes. She couldn't help it. She was still upset with Sakura after what she did to the poor blonde back at the hospital. As much as she wanted to beat her to death, she couldn't. She did promise her to train her as her apprentice, but she's still going to enjoy the training a lot. She couldn't live with herself to kill her. Every time she looked at her, it reminded her so much of how she used to be when she was Sakura's age, how foolish she was and immature, and all the mistakes she made in her life. Shizen was nervous. She knew Tsunade better than anyone, and she could tell that she was still angry with Sakura. She was hoping she didn't kill her, knowing how dangerous her temper is. The last thing she wanted is for her teacher to become a murderer of a 12-year-old genin. She watched carefully along with Tonton, who was nervous like her. Tsunade-sama, please be careful. Go easy on Sakura. Don't do anything you might regret. Tsunade focused the chakra in her hands so she can suppress all of the chakra in her body in order to cut her insane strength in half. This was training after all, and she didn't want it to go overboard with the genin even if the thought of killing her was still in her mind. Are you ready, Sakura? She gave a playful smirk. She nodded nervously, trying to remain calm, but she couldn't. This training was going to be the hardest thing she has ever faced in her entire life as a ninja. She took a battle stance. She couldn't lose. This training was very important to her in order to become strong and regain her friendship with Naruto. She wanted to prove to him that she can be a worthy ninja to protect the village like a true ninja of Konoha. Yet here she was about to go one-on-one with one of the legendary Sanins. Either she was insane, or she has a death wish. The only thing she did is to take a kunai from her hostler, ready to face the female Hokage. I am so screwed, Inner Sakura said while trembling. Here I go, Sakura, Tsunade said, charging at her with great speed. Sakura froze to dodge the attack because of the speed, but she took a blocking position with her kunai. Tsunade punched the ground, destroying it, sending Sakura flying to the ground. Sakura got up only to see above the ground launching an attack with her leg. Sakura ran for her life as the blonde Hokage used her painful sky leg to create a crater. However, Sakura was caught by the force and sent her back to the ground. Sakura quickly threw her kunai. Tsunade dodged it, and she counter-throwing a Saban needle hitting her. Sakura gasped. As soon as she was hit by the needle, she felt her left arm numb, and she couldn't move it. What's going on? Tsunade-sama, why can't I move my arm? That Saban needle I hit you with had a special poison that paralyzes the muscles. You won't be able to move your left arm for a while. She gasped, seeing the disadvantage she had against the slug Sanin. What, Tsunade-sama, you can't expect me to fight you like this. I don't stand a chance, even more like this. This is also part of the training. Sakura endurance is one of the main elements to survive in a fight. She took more Saban needles ready to fire them. Sakura was quick as she took another kunai with her right arm since her left was numb thanks to the poison Tsunade used on her. She quickly blocked all of the needles with her kunai, but she didn't saw the blonde woman charging at her with a punch. Tsunade punched the ground, causing another crater. The force of the attack sent her crashing to the ground. She tried getting up, but it was useless. She was in too much pain. She has only been sparring with her for a couple of minutes, and she has already reached her limit. She was truly weak. She should at least last a little longer against her, but then again she was a Sanin, and she was only a genin. Sakura was hit by one of Tsunade's punches and she was sent flying, hitting the ground a few feet away. Shizen gasped along with Tonton. She was hoping that she didn't go overboard, but looks like she was wrong. Tsunade went to the injured Sakura, who could barely get up after receiving that punch. She was bleeding and she had a lot of bruises. She could clearly tell that she couldn't continue anymore. What's wrong, Sakura? Are you done? She asked in concern, expecting that she would give up. To her surprise, the pink-haired genin was slowly feeling the pain of her injuries. She gazed at her new teacher with the same determination reflected in her jade eyes. No, I'm not done yet, Tsunade-sama, please let's continue. You're kidding, Sakura, look at you, you're a complete wreck. You can't fight anymore, your injuries are too severed. This training session is over. Shizen, take her to the hospital. The raven-haired woman nodded as she went to the fallen genin's side. Come on, Sakura-san. No. Tsunade and Shizen looked at the pink-haired Kunoichi, who was now back at her feet. She tried to stand up so she can continue with the training. I can still fight, I won't give up. Sakura, I won't repeat myself again, you can't continue anymore, you're in too much pain and your injuries need medical attention, the training is over for today, Shizen, please get her out of here. Yes, you're right, Tsunade-sama, I am in pain. But this pain is nothing compared to the pain I inflicted on Naruto, all of the rejection I have given him, and the times I have hit him, I have broken his heart so many times. That pain is worse than this pain I'm feeling right now. I realize now the great pain I have given Naruto in his entire life, and I truly regret everything I have done to him. I deserve this pain and more, and right now I want to become strong so I can be worthy of the title of a Konoha ninja. I want to show Naruto that I can become a strong ninja. I want to redeem myself to him, and someday I wish to be his friend once again and his forgiveness. I had no right to hurt him so badly like the way I did. He was always being kind to me and he was only trying to be my friend. That's why I want to forge my bonds with him once again, so Tsunade-sama, I will never give up, I want to continue with the training. Shizen was shocked, but she felt happy at Sakura's words while Tsunade was smiling at her apprentice. So she has already realized the hurt she has put Naruto through because of her childish attitude. Maybe there is some hope for her after all. Sakura, that was a heartwarming speech, but there will be no point to the training if you end up dead in the process. We will continue with the training once you're all healed. Oh, she said, feeling relief, then I guess I can take a little nap. She then fell unconscious on the ground. Both women went to her side. Let's get her to the hospital immediately, Tsunade said while Shizen nodded. They left the training field while Tsunade smiled at Sakura's determination. Her first day of training, and I'm already proud of her. I have a feeling that she will become even better than me. Forest, somewhere in Fire Country territory. Jiraiya and Naruto have finally decided to stay for the rest of the day. They couldn't afford an inn to stay since Jiraiya didn't have any money and Naruto didn't have enough to afford a room, much to his annoyance. He wasn't happy. He always reserved some money from the share he received after completing a mission. Unfortunately, eating a lot of bowls of ramen from Ichiraku's can empty his toad wallet in no time without realizing it. So he didn't have a choice but to spend the day sleeping in the great outdoors. Since it was still in the middle of the afternoon, Jiraiya decided to begin the big training schedule he has in store for the blonde, and what better way to start with a sparring match. They were a couple of kilometers away from their campsite. Both were standing off staring at each other. Jiraiya smirked, wanting to see what Naruto's true potential is. Of course he knew he didn't stand a chance against him, but it was worth to have a match with the blonde ninja. For Naruto, this sparring match was very important to him. He has been dying to fight the perverted Sannin for a long time now. Having the idea that he was going to hold back, he was going to make sure that he fights him everything he has. He took a fighting stance, ready to fight one of the legendary Sannins, Jiraiya the Toad Sannin. Well, Naruto, I hope you're ready. I have to see what you're capable of if I'm going to teach you everything I know. I have to be careful though. If he wastes all of his chakra, then he might use the Kyuubi's chakra. If that happens, things will get complicated. You bet I will show what I can do, perverted hermit, but you have to promise me that you will go all out. Jiraiya smirked at his comment. Fine, but don't whine if I beat you badly. You're on, perverted hermit. He made a cross-hand seal shadow clone jutsu. Jiraiya saw 10 Naruto clones appeared. He smirked. This is how he always fought. Using the shadow clones jutsu is not a bad move, kid, but if you used it too often, the enemy will find a way to find your weakness. The clone charged at him, throwing their kunai, but he blocked them all out, throwing shuriken. Naruto used shadow clone jutsu again, making another 10 clones. Jiraiya wasn't intimidated by the sheer numbers, until he saw that 10 clones have transformed into a giant shuriken. The other 10 clones took the shuriken, and they throw it at him. Jiraiya smirked at his tactic. Not bad, kid, but not good enough. He made hand seals earth-style earth wall jutsu. The ground lifted high, creating a tall wall. The shuriken hit the earth wall, however it wasn't going to stop Naruto. The real Naruto climbed the wall with his feet, using his chakra to climb the wall. He was thankful that Kakashi taught him the tree climbing exercise, even if that was the only thing the masked Jounin taught him. He was also thankful for the closet pervert Ebisu, who taught him the water walking exercise. He reached the top, shocking the Toad Sannin a lot, not expecting him to come here. He launched a punch, but Jiraiya dodged it, and with a grin he made hand seals. Ninja Art Needle Jaizu. His long white hair turned into the skin of a porcupine. With Naruto's punch hit the sharp needles and he started screaming pain. He was wide open for an attack. Jiraiya punched him, sending him falling from the earth wall. Jiraiya dispelled the earth wall, seeing that the blonde was still in the ground with a goofy look on his face, seeing stars. However, Naruto snapped back and got up, facing the Toad Sannin. Not bad, Naruto, you're holding up against me well so far. You haven't seen nothing yet, perverted hermit. He made a cross-shaped seal. Not this time, kid. He quickly formed hand seals ninja art Dark Toad Swamp. Suddenly the whole ground was destroyed, and it was replaced by a dark water lake. Naruto fell on the water, unable to make his shadow clone jutsu. He gasped, seeing that he was sinking into the water. Hey, what's going on? I'm using my chakra on my feet to stand on the water and instead I'm sinking. Why? Jiraiya smirked. Sorry kid, but this isn't ordinary water, this is the Dark Toad Swamp. The substance is very sticky, completely different from water. No matter how much chakra you focus on your feet, you won't be able to stand. You see, Naruto, standing on the Dark Toad Swamp is a lot complicated than standing on water. I have no problem standing because I have mastered the exercise. You are in a big disadvantage here, you can't move her properly, making you a big target for any incoming attack. Damn it, Naruto growled. He's right, no matter the amount of chakra I focus on my feet, I'm still sinking. Damn, I can't lose. He was snapped from his thinking as he was hit by a couple of shuriken. Thanks to Jiraiya, he vanished, replaced by a wooden long. A substitution jutsu? He was able to perform one with the Dark Toad Swamp. Not bad. So where is he? He finally spotted him a few feet away, trying to stand on the dark swamp. He grinned. It's hopeless if he can't move freely, he can't get close to me. Looks like this match is almost over. Damn it, I have to find a way to get close to him so I can finish this, but how? That's it. He made a cross-hand seal shadow clone jutsu. This time he made 2 clones, and they were also sinking into the dark swamp. What is he doing? The shadow clones can't stand on the swamp either, he's only wasting chakra. Naruto, just give up. You can't get close to me without sinking into the swamp. This match is over. The blonde ninja gave him his fox grin. I thought you knew me better than that, perverted hermit. I never give up, I will beat you. Jiraiya smirked. Same as always, I have a second Minato. Fine brat, but it's not my fault if you get injured. Suddenly one of the clones started forming a Rasengan on the real Naruto's right hand. Looks like he was planning to win the match with the A-rank jutsu the Toad Sannin taught him. Rasengan, fine by me. Jiraiya grinned as he formed a Rasengan on his left hand. That's great, Naruto, that you formed a Rasengan, but how are you going to get close to? He trailed off as his eyes widened at the sight. The second clone that Naruto created grabbed his free hand and threw him right at him. The Toad Sannin was shocked. He used one clone to create a Rasengan and the other to push him forward. That's how he figured out how to get close to me. He didn't waste time seeing that Naruto was heading straight at him with Rasengan in hand. It seems the match was going to end with a collision of 2 powerful jutsus. Rasengan. Rasengan. Boom. An explosion occurred at the collision of the 2 powerful jutsus. Naruto was sent flying far away from the Toad Swamp, hitting the ground. Jiraiya sighed as he dispelled the Toad Swamp and went after his student. He was smiling at the performance of the blonde. He was able to hold on against me for a while. He's strong, but he can get even stronger. This sure brings back memories. He's just like Minato. As he reached the fallen body of Naruto, he smiled again, feeling very proud of him. Before he went to pick him up, he vanished in a cloud of smoke, shocking him a lot. What, impossible, that was a shadow clone. But I beat the real one. Then he must have switched places with a clone before landing on the ground. Then where could he be? No, behind me. When Jiraiya turned around, he saw Naruto forming a hand seal eye when transformed. Naruto has transformed into his sexy older naked female version. Jiraiya's obvious reaction was falling on his ass with a nosebleed that looked like a fountain. Naruto changed back, giving the victory. Sing ha, I did it, I won, I beat the perverted hermit. I knew I was going to beat you with my sexy jutsu, it was my trump card from the very beginning. Jiraiya was still recuperating from watching the arousing sight of the naked girl Naruto. He was feeling so embarrassed. Who would have thought that Jiraiya, the Toad Sannin, and one of the legendary Sannins would be defeated from watching a naked woman? Of all the possibilities, this wasn't the defeat he was expecting to happen. Then again, Naruto is the most unpredictable ninja in Konoha. Damn brat, how could I lose like this? I will get even with him for this. At least I know one thing for sure, Minato would have never used the sexy jutsu to beat me. I know it very well. What would he think of me if he was alive? I know that he will be laughing his ass off. Konoha Hospital. Sakura was in one of the rooms. After 4 hours of being unconscious, she finally woke up feeling very hungry, but unfortunately the food of the hospital was horrible, and she didn't like it one bit. She was thankful that Ino and Hinata came to visit her, since the rest of the rookie were still ignoring her and didn't care if she was injured. She asked them to bring her some food, and here she was waiting for them to arrive. She felt terrible that no one else came to visit her. There was nothing she could do. She deserved it for treating Naruto badly, not to mention slapping him twice, followed by a rejection speech for hurting the Uchiha traitor, which he has escaped and left the village again. She wondered if she could gain their trust once again. She needed to redeem herself to Naruto and everyone else, and the only way to do that is to become a strong ninja. Then maybe someday she can be forgiven for her mistakes. The door to the room opened, revealing Ino a paper bag and Hinata with a flower. Sakura smiled at her friends but kept her eyes on the paper bag because that's where the delicious aroma of food was coming from. Ino's sweat dropped seeing her best friend drooling like a dog with huge hunger. Here, forehead, I brought you the food. Just don't complain. I didn't have enough money to buy you a fancy meal. Give me, Sakura said like an eager little kid in Christmas morning. Ino gave her the paper bag and Sakura ripped it open, revealing a big bowl of ramen from Ichiraku's. For a moment she stood still staring at the bowl of pork ramen. Her eyes softened a little. Just staring at the ramen reminded her of Naruto. She remembers the night Sasuke was going to leave the village she was at Ichiraku's with Naruto. She admitted that she had fun with him at the ramen stand. She has enjoyed it secretly, not wanting to admit that she had fun eating with the blonde. However, she was snapped from her thought from the sound of her stomach growling in hunger. Without thinking twice, she grabbed the chopsticks and started devouring the ramen, while Ino and Hinata sweat dropped at the scene. Hinata put the flower she brought her to the crystal vase next to her bed. Here, Sakura-san, I hope you like it. Ino shook her head, seeing the pink-haired genin eating the ramen like there's no tomorrow. Forget it, Hinata, I don't think Sakura can hear you. She's only focused on stuffing her face with ramen. Oh, thanks for the flower, Hinata. I really appreciate it that you're taking your time to come and visit me since everyone else don't care that I'm here, Sakura said with her mouth full of noodles. Both Kunoichi's sweat dropped. For crying out loud, Sakura, don't eat with your mouth full, Ino said. Oops, sorry, she said while some noodles fell from her mouth. Ino's sweat dropped. And she calls me pig. She's the pig nose, she's the forehead pig. Oh, that is hilarious. I have to write that one down. She was chuckling a little while Hinata looked at her confused, not having a clue what she was thinking about. Sakura finished the bowl in a matter of seconds. She felt so happy while she accidentally burped, causing the Kunoichis to sweat dropped at her manners. Oh yeah, that hit the spot, baby. Damn, that ramen tasted so good. No wonder Naruto is so addicted to it. Want another bowl, forehead? Ino asked with a smirk. Oh no thanks, I'm full. Yeah, I really needed that. Anyway, thanks again for the flower, Hinata. At least someone actually cares for me. Don't worry, Sakura-san, Ino-san also cares for you, the Hyuga heiress said. What do you mean, Hinata? I'm still angry with forehead for what she did to Naruto. I'm just supporting her because she's my best friend, that's all. And I really appreciated Ino pig. I knew training with Tsunade-sama wasn't going to be easy. Just look at me, my first day and I almost got killed. Tsunade-sama said that all of your injuries have been healed, but you will have to stay here for a couple of days before continuing your training with her, Ino said. Yeah, those are good news. I just hope I don't end up in the hospital again every time I trained with Tsunade-sama. If that's true, then I'm really going to have a hard time with this training. Well, I believe you can do it, Sakura-san. You are strong, Hinata said with a smile. The pink-haired genin smiled. Thank you, Hinata. It's a miracle you don't hate me like everyone else for what I did. After all, you like Naruto. I thought you will hate me the most. The Hyuga heiress shook her head. No, I don't feel angry. I can see now that you have regretted everything you have done to Naruto-kun in the past and present. You have realized your mistakes, and now you are trying to find to correct them. The only way for that to happen is if Naruto forgives you, Ino said. Sakura sighed. I wonder if he will ever forgive me. If I was Naruto, I would have never forgive for everything I have done to him. But you're not, Sakura-san. I think Naruto-kun will forgive you. He's not the kind of person to hold a grudge with anyone, especially if it's you. He just needs time to think. These 5 years he'll be away from the village is the time he needs to think. When he returns, he will forgive you, Hinata said. I know that you're being positive, Hinata, but with the way he snapped at her, I don't think he will forgive her so easily. I mean, you were there when it happened. Even if you fainted, Naruto was really angry, and I have never seen him so angry in my entire life, Ino interjected. Ino-san, aren't you supposed to be Sakura-san's best friend? You have to believe that Naruto-kun will forgive her, the Hyuga said in a scold. She's right, Ino pig, you're supposed to be positive with me, Sakura said with a sweat dropped. Hey, didn't you hear me before? I'm still angry with you and I haven't forgiven you for rejecting Naruto. I understand, Ino, she said while sighing. She started staring at her empty bowl of ramen and smiled, thinking about the blonde ninja. I wonder, Naruto must be screwing up on his training as usual, but I know he always works hard. I believe he can do it. Hinata smiled at her comment while Ino was shocked. She was still not used to hear her best friend supporting Naruto instead of supporting a certain traitor. It was really hard to believe that she has changed already from a crazy Sasuke fangirl to a kunoichi who wants to regain the friendship of her blonde teammate whom she used to mistreat and reject. Now here she was trying to get strong in her training to prove herself to Naruto. Yes, Naruto-kun is always training hard to become strong, Hinata said with a faint blush on her cheeks. And speaking of Naruto's training, you must be really going crazy, Hinata, not seeing Naruto in 5 years. Hinata's eyes softened. I guess you're right, Ino-san, but I know he will be back. Besides, I'm not going to stand and do nothing while Naruto-kun is training hard. I'm also going to train hard and become strong for him. Yeah, don't forget to ask him on a date when he returns, Ino said with a smirk. Hearing that, Hinata blushed bright red while Ino laughed. She gazed back at Sakura, but she noticed that she had a hurtful expression on her face because of her comment. Hey, you okay, Sakura? Huh, oh yeah, I'm fine, Sakura smiled, while she smirked back at the blushing Hinata. Just make sure not to faint when Naruto returns. Hinata twiddled her fingers a little. I'll try, it won't be easy. One of the nurses entered the room. Sakura-san, your mother is here to see you. Mom is here, okay, tell her to come in. The nurses nodded and left the room. Mrs. Haruno entered smiling at her daughter. Oh, there's my sweetie, I heard what happened to you. I came as fast as I could. Hello, Mrs. Haruno, Ino greeted the older pink-haired woman. Hello, Haruno-san, Hinata said with a bow. Oh, hello girls, glad to see you visiting my daughter. Well, Sakura, I have to go back to the flower shop. I'll see you later, Ino said. Me too, I have a team meeting. I don't want to keep Kibaku-in, Shino-kun, and Kurinai-sensei waiting. By Sakura-san, Hinata said. Bye guys, Sakura said, seeing that the two kunoichis have left the room. Mrs. Haruno was still smiling at her daughter. Look at you, I'm very proud of you. Who would have thought that my own daughter would be training under the Hokage? I know you will become a great medic ninja just like Tsunade-sama. Thanks, Mom. I have realized that being a ninja is a serious job, and I have learned that as a ninja of Konoha it's my duty to protect the village and give my life for its safety. You have learned so much, sweetie. I am the proudest mother ever. First you finally reject the demon, and now you become Tsunade-sama's apprentice. Hearing the first part, Sakura's jade eyes hardened like stone. What are you talking about? You know, sweetie, everyone in the village knows it. I'm very proud that you put that demon in his place for hurting the last member of the great Uchiha clan. I can't believe the council won't take action and execute him. He is nothing but a threat to the village. He should be dead since he was born. Sakura has finally had it. She knew very well who her mother was talking about. Ever since she was little, her mother kept telling her to stay away from Naruto, that he was nothing but a demon and he was evil, although she doesn't know why they called him demon. I wish that demon finally dies, Mrs. Haruno said proudly while her daughter was glaring at her with a pissed-off look. Mother, shut up. Mrs. Haruno looked at her daughter, shocked at her sudden outburst. What's wrong, sweetie? Sakura glared at her mother. If you ever disrespect Naruto again in my presence, I will never forgive you. Do you hear me? Mrs. Haruno was upset. How can you defend that demon? He is not a demon. He has a name. It's Naruto. He is a ninja of Konoha and my teammate, and he has proven to be a worthy ninja of this village, so I suggest you show some respect for him. Never, she shouted, shocking the pink-haired genin. I will never respect him. I'd rather die. Sakura was still shocked. Why, mother? Why do you hate him so much? What did he ever do to you for you to hate him so much? You have always told me to never get near him, that he was a demon and he was evil, but you are so wrong. Over the years that I got to know him better, I realized that he was a great person and a friend. I was the fool because I was never worthy to have him as my friend in the first place. Mrs. Haruno stood quiet, not believing what she was hearing from her own daughter. For a moment she wanted to tell her the truth about Naruto, who he really was. It was tempting, but she couldn't do it. No matter how much she wanted to tell her the truth so her daughter could hate him too, she couldn't break the law of the third Hokage. Instead, she crossed her arms in an arrogant manner. I just hate him because I feel like it. I'm not the only one. The entire village hates him too. I know, mother, I'm not stupid. I can tell by the looks the villagers used to give him, but you know what, ever since Naruto defeated the sand monster at the Chunin exams, the village has started respecting him and accepting him as one of our own. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot to tell you that sand monster was about to kill me, and you will be surprised who was the person that saved me from the monster. It was Naruto, the demon you despise. Mrs. Haruno's eyes widened. What, that impossible? He saved you? But no, it's not true. It wasn't him. It was Sasuke. You told me so. Oh please, mother, I lied. I was in denial to accept the fact that it was really Naruto the one who saved me, and I was such a fool to believe that. I hate that Uchiha so much. What, you hate Sasuke? It can't be. Why? You told me you loved him, the older Haruno said, shocked at her daughter's comment. Sakura snorted. Oh please, mother, Sasuke could give shit about me. I hate myself for being too stubborn and not realizing soon that he never cared for me in the first place. He is nothing to me but a traitor. The one person who has truly cared for me like a friend, and maybe more than one, was Naruto, and rejected him so badly. Mrs. Haruno growled in anger. What about him? He has rejected you too. I heard about the horrible things he said to you, and yet you defend him like nothing has happened. I deserve it, mother, Sakura admitted with a hint of guilt. After everything I have done to him, and every single word he said to me was true, every single one. I'm going to become the best medic ninja in the village. I will surpass Tsunade-sama. I will also gain Naruto's trust, and he will be my friend if it's the last thing I'll do. Mrs. Haruno was shocked. So that's it, you're doing all of this because of him? Yes, mother, I am. I want his acknowledgement to see me as a strong ninja and his friendship, and maybe, just maybe, she whispered something but her mother couldn't hear it. I can't believe you're doing this because of him. He is not worthy, Sakura. He is worthy, mother, and much more. I have finally realized that a little too late, and now I'm paying the price with guilt and loneliness. A few tears escaped from her eyes. Sakura, please, mother, leave. I need rest. The older Haruno nodded and left the room. She was still upset. Sakura, if you knew the truth, that demon is the reason why your father is dead. Sakura sighed as she lay on the hospital bed. She was feeling upset for her mother to feel so much hatred towards the blonde ninja along with the village. Now she has been wondering why the villagers hated Naruto so much. She was really happy that a lot of the villagers are starting to like him and respect him. But why did they hated him in the first place? She knew he used to be the village prankster, but his pranks weren't something that would make someone hate him to death. She calmed herself as she relaxed on the bed. Trying to think about it was really frustrating her. She pushed those thoughts aside and closed her eyes, trying to get some sleep. Naruto was in a dark room. Everywhere he looked there was nothing but darkness until he saw a familiar figure in the distance. His eyes widened seeing Sakura on her knees. He felt his heart shatter when he heard that she was sobbing loudly. He slowly walked towards her, feeling scared. Was she crying because he ended up injuring Sasuke to bring him back to the village? If that's the case, then he will have to keep his distance. Sakura may want to yell at him, and she will probably slap him again. Naruto, Sakura said between sobs, why do you hate me? I thought you were my friend. She finally lifted her face to him, making the blonde gasp in shock. Sakura was crying tears of blood. Why do you hate me, Naruto? I didn't mean to yell at you for hurting Sasuke, so please help me. Naruto stood still, too shocked to say a word. He was too shocked about her blood tears. It was impossible for a human to cry blood. Sakura, I see you hate me. I can't blame you for hating me so much. I understand. Then I will disappear forever, Naruto. Naruto gasped seeing that Sakura took a kunai, pointing it to the location of her heart. He felt his heart reaching his throat in pure fear. Sakura, what are you going to do? Since you hate me, Naruto, I will make you happy by disappearing from your life forever. Goodbye, Naruto. She lifted the kunai, ready to pierce her heart. Naruto ran to her, scared for the well-being of the pink-haired genin. And oh, Sakura, stop. But it was too late. Sakura stabbed her heart with the kunai, falling to the ground dead. Sakura, shouted Naruto with tears falling from his eyes. He went to her body, seeing the pool of blood surrounding her body. He gently picked her body, crying before he finally broke down. Naruto woke up from with a startle, his heart beating rapidly along with his breathing, his face full of sweat. He finally realized that it was just a horrible nightmare. He was back at the campfire with Jiraiya snoring a few feet away from him. He sighed in relief. The nightmare felt so real and he didn't want it to come true. But what if it was a sign that this could really happen to Sakura, because he eventually thought that he hated her. After the things he said to her back at the hospital, anyone will believe that he hated the pink-haired genin. Silent tears fell from his eyes thinking about her. If she kills herself because she believes he hates her, and kill herself, he will never forgive himself. I don't hate her, but Sakura believes I do. What am I going to do? I can't turn back time and change what happened at the hospital. Yet I can't face Sakura. I'm not ready to face her yet, and even if that's the case, I don't want her to try and end her life because she thinks I hate her. Damn it, why does this have to be so complicated? Suddenly he heard an evil chuckle in his mind. He recognized that chuckle and voice very well. It was the demon sealed in him, the voice of the Kyuubi. You truly are pathetic, kid. Go away, Fox, I don't want to listen to you. Why are you so depressed? Is it because of her? That pink-hair bitch deserved it. Shut up, I won't let you insult her in my presence. It's the truth, kid. What you told her was the truth. Everything you told her was true, and she deserves it for all the hell she has given you. She is not worthy. She is the most pathetic human I have ever met. Naruto growled, I'm warning you, Fox, stop insulting Sakura. After everything she has done to you, yet you still defend her. You are pathetic just like her. Even for me, a demon knows that you have been too kind to a human like her who didn't deserve or was never worthy of your kindness. She hasn't even said thank you to you for saving her life from being killed by Shikaku's vessel, or when you saved her from drowning. Naruto stood quiet for a moment, knowing that the words of the fox demon were true. While the Kyuubi was very amused, he wanted to continue to push his buttons. What about when you brought her the Uchiha back to the village? Did she said thank you to you? And oh, she slapped you twice and called you a dead last and that you were inferior to the Uchiha. Just face it, kid, she hates you a lot. You could be the last man in the world and she will still hate you. Shut up now, I don't want to hear you anymore. I can help you. How about killing her? That will fix your problems. Hee. Leave me the hell alone. He finally broke the mind link with the demon fox. The last thing he heard was the Kyuubi's evil laughter. He got up from the campfire and walked out to get some fresh air. He reached a small clearing in a grassy field. He gazed at the night sky. It was filled with stars. Just looking at it reminded him when he used to look at them when he was in Konoha. He saw the full moon. It was big and beautiful. Looking at it made him felt relaxed. At least he felt more calm, curing his anger and frustration caused by the Kyuubi's cold words. He gazed at the pale moon. Only one person came to his mind just by looking at the moon. Sakura. Only thinking about the pink-haired kunoichi, he really missed her, even if he couldn't forget her harsh words from back at the hospital. I don't want to listen to you. I asked you to do one simple thing and you screwed it up. Can't you do anything right? You really are a dead last. No matter what you do, Sasuke-kun will always be better than you. He's superior, and you're inferior. He will always be above you. A couple of tears escaped from his eyes as he put his left hand where his heart is, feeling the painful blow of her words. Next time I won't ask for any favors from you, Naruto, because you will always screw up, some friend you turn out to be. He let his tears fall while gazing at the full moon, trying to ease his pain. Konoha Hospital. Sakura has woken with a startle while her whole face was full of tears. She couldn't sleep. She just had another dream about Naruto, and it was really horrible. She dreamed that he was on his knees crying in tears of blood, repeating that why she hated him over and over again. The mere sight broke her heart, while feeling so much pain for the blonde. The nightmare became worse when Naruto picked a kunai and stabbed his heart. He told her that his life had no meaning if she wasn't his friend. There was no point in becoming Hokage if he didn't have her friendship. She ran to him quickly, but it was too late. He was dead, his body covered by a pool of his own blood. She dried her tears while gazing at the window, seeing the full moon shining bright, or tears fall from her jade eyes, remembering Naruto's cold words from the hospital. I am so sick of your screw, Konoha. As long as I have Sasuke attitude, you are weak, useless, nothing but a burden to the team. The real dead last is you. Everyone on the team knows it, even Kakashi-sensei knows it. Everyone in this room knows very well that the real reason you became a ninja is so you could be with your precious Sasuke-kun, not so you could serve your village like a proud ninja of Konoha. She closed her eyes as more tears fell, and she opened them again, looking at the big moon. You will never become a strong ninja because the only thing you care about in this village is him. You could give shit about me. Let's face the facts here. Sasuke could be right here and I could lying next to you dying, and you would just let me to die. I really like you, Sakura. I would do anything for you. I would sold my soul just to see you smile. I didn't care if you will never like me back. The only thing that matters to me more than my dream of becoming Hokage is your happiness. I finally realize that you're not worthy of my attention. Hirono Sakura, I hate you. Naruto, she thought while more tears escaped from her jade eyes. How foolish and pathetic I was with you. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but at least I can do is try for you. I must. She gazed at the full moon with a sad smile, thinking about him. He must really hate me. She must really hate me, thought Naruto while gazing at the moon, his face full of tears. I don't deserve your forgiveness, Sakura. I understand if you don't want to see me or hear from me ever again. With one final gaze at the full moon, Naruto finally left, heading back to the campfire, while Sakura went back to sleep, trying to get some rest, hoping that this time she didn't dream another nightmare about the blonde. Both of them are hurt, their hearts broken into pieces for their sudden outburst of anger and frustration to one another without doing it on purpose. The only question they could ask themselves is, will they be able to form their bond of friendship once again? Time skip, 3 months later, somewhere in Lighting Country territory. Naruto and Jiraiya were traveling the high road of the Lighting Country. The Lighting Country was well known for having lots of mountains, meaning that the traveling includes climbing peaks. Naruto and Jiraiya have been traveling non-stop along with climbing a few peaks. Naruto was exhausted, but he knew this was part of the training. He couldn't let this get to him. Over the past months, the training with the Toad Sannin was no walk in the park. He was still being beaten badly when they were in one of their sparring matches, but slowly he was progressing in the training. He found out that his element affinity is wind, making him suitable to perform wind element jutsus. Jiraiya has been putting him in molding chakra exercises a lot, in a point that will completely annoy him till no end. Another thing that annoyed him was the fact that they were sleeping too often in the outdoors. He missed sleeping in a bed from an inn now and then, and it was for the same reason as always. Jiraiya didn't have any money because he was always wasting it on women and sake. They were lucky enough to fight against a couple of weak missing neens, earning some money for their capture. At least they were worth for something. They managed to stay in a few inns, but the money was spent rather quickly thanks to the Toad Sannin for wasting it on women and sake. Needless to say that Naruto was satisfied with how the training was going. He was expecting that Jiraiya will be wasting his time trying to do his so-called research, but he was wrong. The Toad Sannin was focusing on his training more than his peeping research, which shocked the blonde a lot. Now he was struggling and walking a long hill with the Sannin. Now he knew why he chose to travel to the Lighting Country. Walking hills up and down was a good resource for exercise. It was all part of the training, so he didn't complain. Over the months he decided to only focus on his training and not to think about how much he missed Konoha. His friends from the rookie, he really missed them except for a certain pink-haired genin. He didn't want it to think of her. As far as he was concerned, he wanted to forget the fact that he knows a kunoichi by the name of Hirono Sakura. Right now the only thing that matters to him is getting strong and continue to fight for his lifelong dream. Even he really wanted to forget her, he couldn't. He admitted that he missed her too. Even after everything she has done to him, he still cared for him. He erased those thoughts and focused on walking the hill. His training was more important than thinking about the past with the pink-haired kunoichi. Jiraiya took a glance at his blonde student and smiled. He has been slowly progressing in the training even if he was still a long way to go, he could that little by little he was getting stronger. Another thing he was glad about is the fact that he was acting like his normal self again, which was good. Of course things weren't so good with him. During the 3 months they have been traveling, Naruto entered into a depressed state whenever the name of Sakura was mentioned to him. He couldn't blame him, he was still hurt for what happened back at Konoha Hospital. Hopefully the training will help him forget the heartbreaking incident. He did make one important mental note, to never mention Sakura's name again or his student will go to his depressed mode. He sighed happily as he continued to walk the hill with Naruto. It's been a while since he has come to the lighting country. They were almost to their destination for their next training exercise. After 10 minutes they have finally walked all the way to the top of the hill. They were now in a small valley. There was a large waterfall, a small forest, and another waterfall a few kilometers from their current location. He smiled, gazing in the distance at the direction where the other waterfall was. He smiled, while having a perverted dream. This place sure brings back memories. I'm sure that women still come to the other waterfall to bathe. Yes, research material. He cleared his throat. All right, Naruto, drop your bags. We have finally arrived. Take a short rest. Naruto sighed in relief as he put down his backpack and lied down on the ground, feeling tired from all of the non-stop walking. He panted, about time, pervy hermit, we've been traveling for days without taking a rest or staying the night on an inn. A vein pop on the Toad Sannin's forehead. What do you call me, Naruto? I called you pervy hermit. I figure that calling you perverted hermit is too long to say, so I decided to call you from now on pervy hermit or pervy sage, whichever you prefer. Jiraiya's sweat dropped. I would like if you call me sensei or Jiraiya sensei, anything but those two. Nah, those two suits you fine. If you don't want to choose, I will choose it for you, pervy hermit. He made his fox grin, while the Toad Sannin was sweat dropping at his comment. Impudent brat, is that any way to treat your teacher, the man who's going to make you strong? Hey, it's not my fault that you're a pervert. If you stop being one, then I will properly call you sensei. Heh, fat chance brat, that's not going to happen. I am a super pervert, he said proudly. Fine, then I will keep on calling you pervy hermit. He crossed his arms. Sometimes he can be quite a smartass. So pervy hermit, what's going to be today? Are you going to teach me a new powerful jutsu more powerful than Rasengan, or are we going to have another sparring match? Because this time I'm ready. I will beat you without using the sexy jutsu. Well, since your usual cherry mood, I will tell you, today we're going to have a chakra control exercise. What, not that again? Naruto fell down anime style, and immediately got back up. Oh come on pervy hermit, we've been doing a lot of those exercises lately. I am so sick of it. The Toad Sannin sighed. Naruto, you very well know that your chakra control is terrible, and it's important that you practice the chakra control exercise known as meditating more frequently than other ninjas. The blonde sighed. Great, and I got my hopes up that you were going to teach me a powerful jutsu. And how can I teach you a new jutsu when you don't have the proper chakra control to perform that jutsu? Patience is one of the keys to success, and you have to learn to have it. Naruto finally gave up. He knew he wasn't going to get out of this one. Fine, let's get this over with. He went to the ground and crossed his legs, ready to start with the meditation. Hold it, Naruto. Today we're going to have a new type of meditating, one that you will find it quite challenging. That got the blonde ninja's attention. What do you mean, a new type of meditating? There is a reason why I chose this location to have the exercise, Naruto. Aside from watching the girls bathe in the other waterfall, this is the place where I used to meditate. The waterfall is a key element to the meditating exercise you're going to be doing, Naruto. You'll be meditating under the waterfall. Naruto's sweat dropped. That's it, meditating under a waterfall, and you said it was going to challenging. You're right. I'll have this exercise mastered in no time. Jiraiya smirked. All right, if you say so. Now let me show you. How are you going to be standing in the waterfall? He bit his thumb, making some blood appear, and formed some hand seals, summoning jutsu. Poof. When the smoke cleared, a green medium-sized toad appeared. All right, Naruto, my friend here will take you to the waterfall, and you'll meditate on top of his head while the water will hit your body. Are you ready? Piece of cake, pervy hermit, this will be too easy. He removed his orange jumpsuits and the rest of his clothes, leaving him in his green boxers, while Jiraiya was smirking. We'll see about that. You're going to find out that is not as easy as you think. Naruto got on top of the head of the toad. The toad swam all the way to the waterfall, and even before he got in his meditating position, the water hit his body, and his reaction was unexpected. That's freaking. He fell from the toad and hit the lake. Ids, damn it. The toad caught him and brought him back to Jiraiya. It's not going to be so easy, Naruto. I guess I forgot to tell you that the water temperature in these parts is a little low. Naruto was shivering from being in the cold water. Only a little. Are you crazy? You want me to meditate while my body is being hit by cold water? That's impossible. Believe it or not, but the cold water will help you concentrate in focusing your chakra. I know it's cold, but once you get used to it, you'll be fine. Look, pervy hermit, that water is cold, ice cold. The second the water hits my body, it feels horrible, like my whole body is being hit by a dozen needles. It's impossible to meditate while having so much cold water hitting your body. The toad-san inside. Fine, Naruto, I will show you so you get the idea. All right, he but his thumb making hand seals with his blood summoning jutsu. Poof. Another toad appeared in the same size as the green one, but it was colored bright yellow. Jiraiya took off his coal and fish net until he was shirtless. He got on top of the head of the toad. Now watch closely. Naruto watched as the toad headed to the waterfall, and his mouth was wide open at the sight before him. Jiraiya was meditating and the cold water was hitting his body, but he was acting normal like it was nothing. Jiraiya stood meditating in the cold water for 10 minutes and Naruto couldn't still believe what he was seeing. The toad brought him back while the blonde was still shocked at what he just saw. You see, that's how you do it. How do you do it? You were just standing there with the cold water hitting you and you didn't even reacted. It takes practice, but my advice is to ignore the cold and just focus on the meditation. Ignore the cold? Are you kidding? That water is freaking cold. How do you expect me to meditate without feeling the cold water? It's not just possible. Whoa, hold it, I didn't said anything about not feeling the cold. Of course you will feel the cold water. But believe it or not, the cold water helps you focus on the meditation, and the more relaxed you are, the more chakra you can gather and control. This is the best exercise for chakra control. Damn, I can't believe I have to do this exercise. I preferred anything but this, he sighed. Stop whining, you need this a lot, Naruto. On the other hand, if you have perfect chakra control like your teammate Sakura, there was no need for you to do this exercise at all. And oh crap, Naruto. His sweat dropped realizing that he just said the forbidden word. Mentioning the pink-haired Kunoichi's name, Naruto went to his depressed mode, sulking in a corner. He saw a dark cloud getting near him and started raining on him. Although he was back to normal, he still couldn't forget what happened at Konoha Hospital. I really have to be careful not to mention Sakura's name anymore. Her name is taboo for Naruto. He sighed. That's enough, Naruto, let's continue with the exercise. Do it again, and this time I will be with you. The rain cloud vanished while the blonde got back up and nodded. He was finally out of his depressed mode. Right, I'm ready. He climbed up to the green toad's head. Jiraiya and his toad went back to the waterfall, going to his meditate position. Naruto followed on his toad. He touched the cold water of the waterfall. Goddamn it, that's cold, he felt from the toad hitting the water of the lake and left running like crazy. It's too cold. The toad-san and sweat dropped while sighing. This is going to be a long day. Konoha Library, Fire Country Territory. Sakura was picking a couple of books about medicine. This was part of her training with Tsunade. She has asked her to pick all kinds of books about the human body and medicine. She needed to read them all carefully and study them. This was another step she needed to take to become a good medic ninja. During the past 3 months, Sakura has been progressing slowly in her training. She still couldn't pass the physical training against the slug-san and earning her a couple of trips back to the hospital. Tsunade decided to give her other training exercises like medical ninjutsu training. Thanks to her perfect chakra control, she has passed that part with flying colors. She has healed all of the animals Tsunade has given her. She was very impressed with her talent, thinking that she was a second Shizen. Going to the library was another exercise to feed her knowledge about medicine. Another exercise, she was now working part-time at the hospital, working as Tsunade's personal assistant. So her schedule is very busy, not giving her enough time to rest, but she didn't care. Tsunade has been very strict with her during training, but she didn't care. She knew this training wasn't easy since her first day of training, but this was necessary for her to become a great medical ninja. She has been focused so much in her training that she has closed herself from the rest of the village. It didn't worry her at all after all her friends in the Rookie 9 were still ignoring her. The only genins who were talking to her were Ino and Hinata, which she rarely spent some time with them because of her busy schedule. Today was going to be another busy day for her. After having another session in reading medical books, she was going to work at the hospital. She didn't care how tired she will get from the intense training. As long as she becomes the best medic in the village, it will be all worthy, and also as long as Naruto forgives her and let her be his friend once again. One thing that has bothered her during these past months is her relationship with her mother. Ever since she told her that she wanted to become a strong ninja so that Naruto acknowledged her, she has been constantly ignoring her. Her mother was not happy that she was focusing her training just to regain her friendship with the blonde. At first she was happy that she was training under the Hokage, but now that she knew the real reason behind her determination to the training, she was rather upset with her. Sakura expected that her mother would be proud of her and understand what she's going through, but apparently that was not happening. Instead of praising her because she was taking her training to become a great medic ninja seriously, she was upset because she wanted to be friends once again with the so-called demon brat. Another thing that was bothering her for a while now is why did her mother hate Naruto? Not just her, but the whole village used to hate him with so much hatred. Maybe she will ask Tsunade about it later if she knows something. Once she was done with picking her books, she got seated in one of the tables. She opened the first book about the human body and started reading, trying to get all the information she's reading to her brain. While reading, someone was watching her and went to her. Sakura paused on her reading, noticing that there was someone next to her. She looked up to see Kiba, who was holding a couple of books. He smiled at her, and she was confused since Kiba was one of the few people who has been ignoring her and hate her. "Hey Sakura, how are you doing?" I'm fine, Kiba. I'm busy with reading some of the books that Tsunade-sama has told me to pick." She was rather surprised to see the Inuzuka actually talking to her. "I can see that. I'm also picking a few books. They are for my sister about medicine for dogs." "Oh, that's right, Hana-san is a veterinarian. I'm glad you're doing her the favor. Where's Akamaru?" "He's outside, no pets allowed in the library." "Oh, that's right, I forgot about that." She blushed from embarrassment, remembering the rule. "So what are those books about?" he asked, interested while checking some of the books. "Oh, you know, medicine, the human body. I am training under Tsunade-sama to become a medic ninja." "That's good. I just hope you can find a book about friends." He gave a slight smirk. "Excuse me, what do you mean by that?" she asked, highly suspicious, not liking what he was talking about. "I'm just saying to find a book about friends so you can learn how to treat them right compared to the way you treat Naruto." He smirked again, seeing her reaction. Sakura's eyes hardened while clenching her fists. Now she knew why Kiba was bothering himself to talk to her. She calmed herself, not wanting to make a scene in the library. "Kiba, if you came to me to mock me, I suggest you leave. I have a busy schedule and I can't waste time." The Inuzuka didn't seem intimidated by the hard look she was giving him and decided to continue his little game. "I guess if I don't do what you say, you might slap me and reject me with your cold words, isn't that right?" "I'm warning you, Inuzuka, leave right now." She glared at him with a look that will kill anyone. Kiba continued to ignore her demands. "You know what, I'm actually glad that Naruto finally stood up to you. You have always treated him like crap and he has been nothing but a good friend to you, and you always repaid him by hitting him. But he's no longer your punching bag, he's a free man. To think he really liked you, just what the hell did he ever saw in you anyway?" That was the last straw. Sakura couldn't take it anymore. She finally snapped as she grabbed the Inuzuka by his collar, lifting him up 3 feet above her, scaring the crap out of him, not giving him time to react at all. She glared at him while gritting her teeth. Kiba knew he has overdid it, and gulped. Now he was going to be in so much trouble for making the pink-haired genin angry. He could feel the way she was grabbing him. He felt her grip, and it was really strong. It seems she was starting to develop some of Tsunade's super strength. Sakura, I was just kidding, don't take it too personal," he said, scared out of his mind. Sakura tightened her grip on him. "Listen, mud, if you ever mock me again, I won't slap you, I will punch you, and believe me, my punches are very painful." Asked Naruto. "He knows. You have every right to ignore me and insult me, but this is nothing compared to the pain I'm feeling right now. I don't care what you and everyone else thinks of me, I have training to do and a mission to fulfill. So if you want to talk to me, let it be a nice topic. You don't have to remind me of my stupid mistake for being such an immature bitch. Are we clear?" Kiba nodded his head quickly while Sakura let him go. "Now leave and don't bother me again." He picked up his books that he dropped when Sakura lifted him up and left without thinking it twice. Sakura got seated again. While a few tears fell from her face, she dried them, not wanting to cry anymore. No matter what she do, she will always be very emotional. A cry baby, that's what they called her when she was little, along with forehead and billboard brow. Damn, mud, he didn't have to say those things about me getting a book about friends, arg. She sighed as she continued to read. Suddenly Kiba's words have affected her again, and she started thinking the times she has mistreated Naruto, all the punches, all the times she called him annoying, it all lead to the incident at the hospital where she hurt him for the last time, causing Naruto to snap at her. All of his words from the hospital came back to haunt her. She was reliving that painful memory once again. Some tears fell from her face again, but she quickly dried them off. She focused back to her book while thinking about the blonde ninja. Valley, light and country territory. Cold. Once again Naruto has fallen to the lake due to the coldness of the water. He couldn't stay still while the waterfall hits his body. He has tried over 20 times and he still couldn't do the meditating exercise. In his opinion, meditating under a cold waterfall was a crazy idea. It was impossible to stay still concentrating on meditation while your body was constantly being hit by cold water, probably reaching zero. But he knew it was possible to do. After all, he saw Jiraiya doing it without yelling how cold the water is. This was another challenge given to him, and he needed to master this exercise no matter what. He wanted to ask the Toad Sannin more tips about the exercise, but he has left and he hasn't returned for hours, which lead him to believe that he was somewhere off doing his research. He left the lake while the toad that Jiraiya left him was enjoying the nice cold water. He sighed. Where the heck is that pervy hermit? I need his advice to do this exercise, and he rants off to peep. Damn pervert. He left the region, heading into the forest if he could find his teacher. While walking, he heard splashing noises coming from ahead. They heard like they were women. And he knew why. They were a couple of women bathing in another lake with a waterfall. They were all wearing bathing suits, and some of them had a nice chest which caught his attention a lot. His sweat dropped when he saw Jiraiya seated in a tree branch using his telescope to get a good view of the nice lady's breasts. He giggled, while having a small nosebleed, grinning like the super pervert he is. Naruto's sweat dropped again. Why he wasn't surprised that his super perverted teacher was doing his usual research of peeping. He cleared his throat, not getting the Toad Sannin's attention, but he wasn't going to talk to him in a soft tone. Hey pervy hermit, what do you think you're doing peeping at the women? Jiraiya fell from the tree while the women that were bathing ran screaming, saying pervert. He got up while watching them leave and oh, come back ladies please, I'm not done yet, he growled, glaring at his student. You brat, look what you did. I was having so much fun and I haven't started writing my research material. Aren't you forgetting why we are in this journey in the first place? It's because of my training, not so you could peep. You imprudent brat, you know I wasn't doing my research all this time. I went to a town a couple of miles away from here and I bought some food, though you might be hungry, but with the little respect you have for me I don't think I might give this delicious bowls of ramen for you. He took a couple of paper bags. Naruto's nose went wide as he caught the delicious aroma of ramen coming from the paper bags. His stomach started growling. It seems that he was so focused in doing the meditating exercise that he forgot that he was very hungry. Jiraiya grinned. You were so mean to scare the girls away. Now I don't think I will give you the ramen. Oh, wait, more for me. Wait pervy hermit, Naruto said while stomach gave another loud growl. Come on, I'm hungry. The meditating exercise has really taken a lot of me. I need the energy. The Toad Sannin gave a thoughtful look while touching his chin. I don't know, it's not nice to call me pervy hermit. Maybe if you call me sensei, then maybe I will reconsider my decision. Naruto was going to swallow his pride on this one. He was really hungry. Fine, sensei. Jiraiya smiled, feeling proud with himself. Yeah, that's more like it. Now come on, let's get back so you can eat. They returned to the waterfall where Naruto's toad was still swimming in the lake. Jiraiya gave him a bowl of ramen to Naruto, and he almost devoured his hand in the process from all of the hunger. He picked up the chopsticks and started eating the ramen like there was no tomorrow. In just 1 minute he ate the first bowl, he took the second bowl and ate it in a minute too. Jiraiya's sweat dropped at the sight. Naruto has eaten 5 bowls in less than 5 minutes. It's a good thing that he saved some money to buy his own bowl of ramen. After Naruto finished massacring the bowls of ramen, he gave one loud burp while Jiraiya's sweat dropped at his manners. He felt so happy now that his stomach is full and his hunger satisfied. Oh yeah, that hit the spot, thanks pervy hermit. A vein pop on the Toad Sannin's forehead, while Naruto smirked. Hey, what did I told you is sensei? It's the truth, you are a pervy hermit. Brat, see if I will buy you ramen next time. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I also bought you something else besides the ramen when I was at the town here. He gave him a book. Hey, this better not be one of your perverted books, because if it is I am not interested. He crossed his arms in annoyance. His sweat dropped at his comment. No, it's a journal. I decided that you should have one so you can start writing while we're traveling. What do I need a journal for? He asked, not having a clue why he needs one. Naruto, a journal is like your best friend. You can tell all sorts of things, like your biggest secrets to writing everything that has happened to you during the day. You see, a lot of women have their own journals just like they're us men. I don't get it, what's the big deal of having to write everything about my life in a book? You might be asking that now, but I assure you, you are going to like it as we travel on our journey, trust me kid. Naruto sighed. Fine, I'll guess I can give it a try, thanks pervy hermit. So do you have a journal too? The Toad Sannin chuckled at his comment. Yeah, you could say that I do kind of have my own personal journal. He gave a perverted grin. The blonde sweat dropped. I don't even want to know what does he writes in his journal. It must be something perverted. Anyway, pervy hermit, how about we continue with the exercise? I need more advice to do this. The water is too freaking cold. You're still having trouble, I see. I can give you more advice, but you should wait at least an hour after you ate. It's not healthy if you do get in the water again. Then you can give me the advice now while I wait the hour. He got seated on the ground waiting to hear him out. Jiraiya chuckled, always focusing on the training no matter what. I wonder after the training if he will become stronger than Minato. Alright, I will tell you everything about mastering this exercise. Konoha Hospital, Fire Country Territory. Sakura was helping Tsunade bandaging a patient who just been out of surgery. Thanks to Tsunade, the operation was a success, and although she was just her assistant, she was needed to attempt the operation. She almost fainted seeing the operation. It wasn't a pretty sight. There was so much blood she felt sick to her stomach. Somehow she managed to hold on. She needed to be strong since she was training to become a medic ninja. Tsunade told her that a medic ninja must never lose panic, although she saw her that during the whole operation she was afraid because of the sight of blood. She remembered that Shizen told her that Tsunade was afraid of blood. It was a little ironic when she thought about it, an excellent medic ninja like Tsunade to be afraid of blood. But she knew it was because of her past when losing her little brother and her boyfriend according to what Shizen told her. Now she was walking the halls with the slug Sanin finishing the operation. She didn't felt comfortable being in the hospital. After all, this is the same place where she rejected Naruto, and he rejected her even worse. She didn't hate him for what he did, she knew it well. She deserved to be called all those things the blonde told her, and they were all true. In truth, she was amazed at how Naruto was able to stand her verbal insults and her punches on him for so long. Any other person would have snapped at her and put her in her place the first time, but not Naruto. But even someone as kind and as selfless as him has a limit. She erased those thoughts from her head. Thinking about that painful memory will only make feel depressed. She followed Tsunade until reaching the reception desk of the building. Well, that will be all for today, Sakura. You did a very good job. I am impressed. Thank you, Tsunade-sama. She bowed while smiling. It really made her happy to receive a compliment from her teacher. I'm going back to the office. I must have a lot of damn paperwork to fill. She went to one of archives and pulled a lot of folders, putting them on the desk. Sakura, I need you to archive all of these medical files in alphabetical order. This is an easy job. You can do this with no problem. Yes, Tsunade-sama. She watched her as she closed the archive. She was about to leave the desk. Tsunade-sama. Yes, she answered, looking back at her student. The pink-haired genin stood quiet, but she needed to ask her. It has been bothering for such a long time, and she wanted to know once and for all. She knew that the Hokage can answer her question. Well, there is something I've been wanting to ask you for a while now. It's about Naruto. What about him? Tsunade needed to be careful not to say anything that might remind her student of the incident in the hospital, or she will have another depressed moment. I want to know why the village hate Naruto. She saw that the female Hokage's expression changed to a serious one. I have seen it long ago before we graduating from the academy, and it makes me wonder, why do they hate him so much? I have always noticed the looks the villagers used to give him, but why? I know that he was always pulling of pranks, but it shouldn't be to the extent for them to hate him like they would want to kill him. Tsunade stood quiet, thinking whether to tell her the truth about the blonde ninja or not. Instead, she opened another archive, taking a couple of medical files, putting them on the desk next to the one she placed before. These medical files are also out of alphabetical order. She left the desk. Wait, Tsunade-sama, please. If you know why, then please tell me. I must know. Tsunade stopped walking without facing her. I think you might find the answer closer than you think. She continued walking until she was out of sight. Sakura sighed. What's the big secret? I really want to know why Naruto was hated so much. What did she meant that I might find the answer closer than I think? I swear Tsunade-sama can sometimes be so cryptic. She started putting the files in alphabetical order. One after one she ordered them. She kept doing the same thing for the next 10 minutes. She finally reached a couple of files and put them in the archive where their last names started with the letter U. That's when she realized that the files were in perfect order. There was no need to get them from the archive. Sakura decided to ignore it and continued to putting the files. When she reached the last file, she gasped, reading that the folder had Naruto's name. This is Naruto's medical file. All of his medical records are stored here. Wait a minute, did Tsunade-sama knew about this? Maybe this is what she meant about finding the answer closer than I think. Yeah, this must be it. I might find something why Naruto is hated by the village here. She opened the folder and gasped at the first page. Reading all of his past treatments, she almost fainted. They were records that he had a broken arm, a few broken ribs, a few concoctions, and so on. She was horrified reading the medical reports. From having all of these conditions, anyone would have died, but not Naruto. Why? As she continued reading the file, she was shocked reading that all of his wounds have healed rather quickly. She didn't know how until she turned the other page. Colored red, that read in capital letters, top secret classified. Curiosity got the better of her, and she opened the page. She was about to read the classified section of his medical file. Her eyes widened in shock reading the information revealing the source to Naruto's quick healing. Naruto had the nine-tailed demon fox Kyuubi. According to the information she was reading, the Kyuubi's chakra has the ability to heal any wounds rapidly, explaining a lot why Naruto was able to heal quickly. How could this be possible? She was told that the demon fox was killed by the fourth, so how could Naruto have the demon fox in him? She knew there was only one person who could give her the answer, the one person who gave her the clue to finding the truth about the blonde. She left the reception desk, leaving the hospital. She walked the streets heading to the Hokage Tower. Hokage Tower. Tsunade sighed, filling another amount of paperwork. It seems that the hellish was never going to end. Looks like it was just another day at the office. She started thinking about Sakura. Knowing how smart she is, she was going to look into Naruto's medical file. It wouldn't be long before she comes here looking for answers to her. Suddenly a small toad carrying a cylinder tube came from the window. She smiled, recognizing one of Jiraiya's messenger toads. She opened the cylinder, taking the message, and began to read it. Tsunade. Sorry for not sending you the message a little late, but I was caught up too much in the traveling. We are now in Lighting Country. Things have been very quiet lately, and there hasn't been any dangers ahead. My spies haven't found anything yet about what's Orochimaru up to or Akatsuki. However, the training is coming well. Naruto has already started to become strong. Can you believe he can last when fighting me? Who would have thought? Right now he's doing the meditating exercise in the waterfall. He's shivering from the cold. I just hope he doesn't end up with a bad case of pneumonia. One more thing, I think it will be best if you don't say anything to Sakura about Naruto's progress in the training. Right now Naruto doesn't want to know a thing about her. He gets too depressed when I mention her name. I hope you understand. I will send you another message during the next couple of months. Jiraiya. Tsunade sighed. So Naruto doesn't want to hear anything from Sakura. I guess he must be feeling worse than I thought. I will have to keep all of these a secret from her. The door to the office opened, revealing Shizen. Tsunade-sama, Sakura is here to see you. Right, send her in. Yes, Tsunade-sama. Shizen let the pink-haired genin enter as she left the office, and Tsunade knew she has found out about the truth. She could tell by the few tears that were escaping from her jade eyes. What is it, Sakura? You did it on purpose, didn't you? What do you mean? I'm talking about the medical files. I checked on them and they were in the right order. You took them from the archive, so I find out about Naruto. Isn't that right, Tsunade-sama? A couple of tears fell from her face. Yes, I did. I figure if you really are so committed to build your friendship with Naruto once again, I thought that it was necessary for you to know the truth about him, about the great burden he carries. But how? I thought the fourth Hokage killed the Kyuubi. That's what they told us at the academy. I'm sorry, Sakura, but that's a lie. The Kyuubi couldn't be killed. It was too powerful to defeat even for someone like the fourth. He couldn't defeat the beast. Instead, he used a forbidden jutsu, sacrificing his life to seal the Kyuubi in a newborn baby. Naruto was the only child born on that day, so he became the container for the Kyuubi. More tears were falling from her jade eyes hearing the painful truth about Naruto. Then why did they lie to us about the Kyuubi's attack? Because it was a law that the third made forbidding anyone in the village from mentioning the truth about the Kyuubi's attack, in order for Naruto to have an ordinary childhood. But you know very well he didn't have an ordinary childhood, don't you, Sakura? Sakura stood letting her tears fall. It made perfect sense to her why the entire village hated Naruto so much, including her mother. He was the container of the demon fox that killed a lot of Konoha ninjas. She could finally understand how much he has suffered over the years. It only made her feel more guilty, because she was one of the people who hated him too. She was so grateful that the third Hokage created that law, otherwise Naruto's life would have been far worse. She imagined herself beating him up along with a lot of other children for knowing that he was the container of the Kyuubi. She has never felt so miserable in her entire life. She has hated the blonde for a worthless cause, and she has pushed him away, his friendship lost forever. Tsunade saw her student still crying. She was suffering at the revelation, finally understanding the hatred the village had for Naruto. Are you all right, Sakura? The pink-haired genin tried to dry her tears. No, I'm not. You know what, Naruto has to be the bravest person I have ever met. After suffering so much in his entire life, he can still walk and smile like nothing has happened to him. How can someone like him still go on living? If it was me, I would have ended my life. But he didn't, because Naruto found people who care for him, people who have become precious to him, and he will protect them even if it means giving his life to save them. Sakura nodded. Yeah, I know. It's too bad I'm no longer one of his precious people to protect after everything I have done to him and after what happened at the hospital too. You know the thing I hate the most? The fact that I never really hated Naruto to begin with. When I was little, I hated being alone, not having any friends. I was so shy because I was afraid of making any friends. Every time I talk to them, they will just tease me because of my forehead. But then Naruto came. He was the first person to talk to me and accept me as his friend. He told me that my forehead was very pretty and cute. From that moment I like him. But then Ino came and she became my best friend. She obviously hated Naruto because her mother hated him along with the rest of the village, so I eventually thought that it was all right to ignore him and hate him.